was the thing I did not think to do this month.
Okay.
I can make one now, unfortunately I can't print it, so.
Yeah, we can just write it down.
So Jimmy, we're recording.
I'm not ready to.
You're recording.
Okay.
Okay.
Just so everyone knows, we are recording, although we haven't started the meeting yet.
Okay.
And is this meeting also going to be live streamed? Megan?
Yes, it should be the same button, so it's one button and it says vote.
Okay, well,
I had a question, Lisa, that camera's too high.
Too high?
What does that mean?
One of the
It
residents.
means it's angled too high.
Yeah, the aim is too high, you've got to bring it down.
It was too low.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's go with it.
yeah, okay. We got a couple of, things that we have to work through, like new board members don't have key fobs to get into the building.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, do you? Okay, so who is waiting, okay, I thought there was a snafu there, okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call this meeting to order, and we're gonna start with public comments. Do we have anybody who wanted to sign up for public comments for the general meeting? Okay. Gerald, come on up. And did you want to make a public comment, or did you want to talk to the, speak to an agenda item also?
No, just a public comment.
Okay, go ahead, you have 2 minutes.
Okay. So hopefully I don't get a telephone call. So this is per our agency's dossiers. As our understanding, Director Fobb, you told Officer Monroe at the Monday's meeting that you planned on stirring the pot and for him to be on alert. I interpret that to mean you plan to make trouble. That is not a way to govern, and I don't think you're interested in governing. And I think you want to govern by fiat. You have told people by your actions, if you don't get what you want, you will sue them. I'm stirring the pot in. Appreciate the humor. When you will get very upset when people hire an attorney to defend themselves. That appears to me. If you sue a government entity, of course they're going to use taxpayers' money to defend themselves. And I don't think you took responsibility for the lawsuit because at one time you blamed Catherine for the lawsuit. People in the district who stand up for themselves and defend themselves become your enemies. And then you want to destroy them despite the fact they are human beings with families. You think all the WT vendors are crooks, even when the facts prove to the contrary. Facts don't appear to be very important to you. You've never produced a shred of evidence to prove any of your allegations against them. And I think manipulation and playing both sides of the fence is your MO. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, so, Chris, did you want to make a public comment or speak to an agenda item?
No.
How about you, David? Did you want to make a public comment or speak to an agenda item?
I'm going to sign up to that.
Okay, so nobody else wants to make a public comment, then I will close the public comment section of this agenda, and I will go to agenda item number 2, public hearing on the tax rate. Is there anybody who wants to make a public comment regarding the regarding the tax rate?
Catherine, you should officially open the public
Okay,
hearing first,
sorry.
and then
Okay.
see if anyone wants to speak, and then if not, we can close it.
Okay, hold on. So I'd like to open the public hearing on the tax rate. Is there anybody who would like to speak at this public hearing? Okay, not having anybody wishing to speak, I'm going to close the public hearing on the tax rate, and I'm going to move to agenda item number 3, order approving the budget.
Catherine, I'd like to make a suggestion that we jump ahead to items 6 and 7, which once complete should make the discussion on the agenda item number 3 faster and a lot less painful.
I understand. I'm going to stick with the order right now. Okay, and actually, that's a good thing for you to remind me, because I did want to make a couple of statements, and I was hoping that our constable would be here, but I'll go ahead and make them anyway. Monday night was our first meeting in person since February 2020. I want to remind everyone of the procedures and protocols for our meetings now that we are back in session, in person. Members of the public will be permitted to make public comments at each of our meetings. Tonight, we will also have a public hearing on the tax rate, during which members of the public will be permitted to make comments. However, after conclusion of all public comments and public hearing on the tax rate, there will be no additional comments received from any of the members of the public. Members of the public are welcome to attend for the remainder of the meeting. However, you will be required not to converse with other persons or make any comments. No one has the right to disrupt a public meeting. If you make comments after the public comments or the public hearing portion of the meeting, you will be removed from the meeting and you will not be allowed to return. At any time during the meeting, including public comments, you cannot use profane language, make profane or obscene gestures, or act aggressively toward the board or any of the vendors of the WTCMUD1. You will be removed from the meeting and you will be not allowed to return. When the meeting is adjourned, I ask that the board and its vendors remain seated while the room clears using the slide doors. I ask that the public immediately leave and do not approach board members or vendors. Okay, so now I have another opening statement I want to read. A little out of order here, but that's fine. The meeting on Monday was the first in-person meeting since February 2020. It was the first in-person meeting for 3 of our board members. After the harassment of board members and its vendors at Monday's meeting, I am determined to be more deliberate as I lead this board. I will be working with General Counsel to reorganize the format of the meetings. I will be working with vendors to reorganize the format of the reports. Starting next month, there will be a consent agenda whose aim is to streamline meetings. Art, Megan, Beth, together we are the majority on this board. Working together, we can move our community forward, making decisions which positively impact our residents today and in the future. We can set the foundation for the continued reduction in the property tax rate, pay off our bond debt, and create the environment for stable property values. Therefore, tonight, as we embark on a journey together to improve our community, I am asking for the board to reaffirm their confidence in me as president of the WTCMUD board. Art, do you trust me to lead this board forward?
Do I trust you? I'm sorry.
To lead this board forward.
I do.
Will you follow me tonight as I lead the meeting?
Of course.
Megan, do you trust me to lead this board forward?
I do.
Will you follow me tonight as I lead the meeting?
I will.
Beth, do you trust me to lead this board forward?
Yes,
Will you follow me tonight as I lead the meeting?
absolutely.
I do not claim that changes over the next few months will be easy, but I do believe we all share a common desire to look back and see that our service to our community was a positive part of our life and had a positive impact on our community. So with this common belief, let's have a positive impact on our community. Okay, so moving forward.
Catherine, I would like to make a statement.
No, I'm sorry, you're out of order, Linda. We are going to go to agenda item number 3, order approving the budget.
All right, everyone should have a copy of the budget.
Michael, could you please turn on the microphone?
Sorry.
It's red, it's the, you just touch the button and it looks really green.
Just hold it down.
Okay, it's green now. Okay. Thank you. All right, so everyone has a copy of the budget. Starting on page 1, you'll see that I have 2 line items that are in yellow, the sewer wastewater revenue and the water revenue. I have those highlighted because if you slip down to page 3 at the bottom, the bulk water purchase and bulk wastewater purchases, those are in yellow also and highlighted in dark red. Those are my estimates based on the cost increases that the city gave us of what the expense will be next year. And we have not yet set what the new rate will be for the district in terms of the water and sewer rates on the rate order. And so I just wanted to point out that either you pass this budget without making that change with the understanding that you don't know that number yet, or that you go ahead and give me an idea of what numbers you want there now before we approve the budget. And worth particularly noting on those, the bulk water side is net positive, about 50,000. If we made no increase on the water side, the revenue would be about 800,000, and I'm projecting expense a little under 750,000. But the sewer side is upside down. With no rate increase, the sewer revenue would be 420,000, but the expense would be almost 537. So that's almost 137 in deficit, 50 on the other side. So about 87,000 in deficit net between the two. And so I would highly suggest that the rate order reflect an increase on the wastewater side that would right-size that. And then, any questions about that, or?
No, and I would like to suggest that we move forward with making adjustment to the sewer side tonight, and that will give us time to review, do a larger analysis for the water side, the potable water sides, and that should be on the agenda for an October meeting.
Okay. In lieu, we can have that discussion right now, or do you want me to walk through the rest of the budget? Just to quickly highlight, when you see numbers in the annual budget for FY22 that were in dark red, in the email I sent out to you, I pointed those were changes I made after going through the actuals through August, and so right-sizing some budgets slightly. And then on page 3, you can see that there are there are 3 lines that are highlighted in yellow, not the bulk water and wastewater. And those are there because they're new names for the lines or new lines entirely. So I just want to kind of highlight that those are new items. And then that's pretty much it. Everything else in the budget was what we had discussed at the last budget meeting.
Okay, so just to reiterate, basically this is the same budget that we saw last month, but you have updated the numbers one last time to be
Yes.
reflective of one more month.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so have they had any major adjustment as a result?
No, those were all relatively small tweaks they made, a few thousand here and there.
How much are we over budget?
Bottom line, it's
411?
411, that's correct.
Okay.
So we have some work to do.
Yeah, I can, why
That's-
is legal services still so high?
Legal services is 505,000 for the year.
Because we're being sued.
$500,000.
We're being sued, that's
Well,
why.
that's not all that. You've got
That's ridiculous.
175 in litigation, 110,000 in, what is that? 70,000 for restrictive covenant,
Okay.
and 150,000 for open records.
So this is the
Well, the
thing that,
restricted covenants are kind of in line. They're a little higher, but they're kind of in line. But everything else, I know there's a trend from last year, but do we have to follow the actuals?
Well, that's not actuals.
well,
Actual
this
for
is,
2020 is 151. The actuals through 2021 are 161.
For which category are you looking at?
Legal services is
at,
looking at,
professional
through June it was
services, legal
161, and we're projecting about 215 by the end
Michael,
of the year.
isn't this the last month of the fiscal year? So you're expecting an increase of that much in 15 days?
In the July through September, those are the July and August actuals, and then I'm estimating September in that column. So,
There's some that are a really big jump, a lot to be spent in just 15 days to meet your projected for the end of September.
on a few of these lines, I'm leaving, based on budget, that something might be done at the very end. But basically, this projection is probably, in terms of expenses, a little high, but that's to be conservative too.
150,000 in open records.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
was about to bring
last
that up.
time it was
That's high.
100,000. Are you expecting even more open records?
The open records projection is based on the actuals for the 2 months plus, let me pop that open.
I think that's probably 50,000 too high.
It's almost $500,000
Yeah,
in legal costs.
it's 505 exactly. I don't
Right,
think-
so on that line, that I'm projecting we don't actually have the August numbers in yet, so I'm projecting 2 months on that. But the 150 came from the board at the last meeting, that was the number that was determined that we would need.
I thought-
So I'll be happy to lower
I
that.
thought we said 100, but I could be mistaken. But I think 100 is about the average that the board has been spending
For
on,
the last 3 years.
yeah, on withholding records, so.
I didn't even like that number, but, I mean, can't we be better and
Yes,
say,
you
okay,
can.
let's reduce this number?
You-
Let's figure
You
it out.
actually can, because you're the Open Records Committee, and all you have to do is
Okay.
tell the attorney to release the records.
It's not that simple.
It is that
So,
simple.
The mic is-
Oh, they can hear me, I'm sure.
okay, go ahead, turn your
That's
mic on,
$500,000.
Linda.
Okay.
So bottom line, as it relates to the budget, it's not like the Ten Commandments Moses brought down where it's written in stone. There are some of these parts, some of these pieces, we can do our best to guesstimate what they're gonna be, and then some of them, they're gonna be whatever ends up happening. Because at any point in time, we can have something horrendous happens from an infrastructure point of view, and we're gonna spend the money, whether it's, in order to keep the infrastructure going. What that does, though, is it tells us that we can't, if we ever have a catastrophe, that we wouldn't be able to spend other discretionary money. I'm ready to move forward with the budget.
I'm not ready to move
I'm
forward.
ready to move forward, and so at this point,
I have questions about the budget, Catherine.
that's really great. So I move that we approve the budget that has been presented by Michael Luft with the change in the sewer rate.
And what rate do we want there?
Well,
Or
we
what
want the
total?
rate so that it, for at the very minimum, it collects, it covers what we're being charged.
Right, and the
And you know what
sewer,
that is, right?
my guess, yes, based on the rate increase that they gave to us, and our present consumption, rate increase of 3.9%, I'm projecting an expense of almost $537,000.
Okay. So you know what that's, so you know how to adjust that, that's what I'm asking you.
It depends on which question you're asking. I know how to adjust the budget
That's what
to
I'm
offset
asking.
that.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I'm asking for, yes.
So I can increase the budget to, I like round numbers, so 540,000,
Okay.
and
And then you know what the counter sewer rate that we have to pay in the rate order is.
I can back into that.
Okay, because we're gonna need that for the rate order, correct? Bill?
Yes.
Okay,
So procedurally, we have not changed the rate order yet, but when we
Right.
get to that item, we can
Yes.
change it to what you're
yes,
proposing.
that's what I'd like to do. Okay, so you have the final budget?
Yes, with that change and no others, let me get to the bottom, sorry. It's a long budget. That puts the net deficit for the year at 291,
Okay,
and so, right, and, yeah, that was the number I was looking for, 291, 375.
okay, could I have a second, please?
I'll second it for
Okay.
discussion.
Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a discussion and then we'll move on.
Okay, I want to say something.
Okay.
I know this is a budget, and I know it's based on trends that we've occurred, but looking at these legal fees, and I'm not so concerned with the one with restricted covenants, because that's, kind of in line. But with that being, it's 71% of these expenditures on administrative costs. 71%. I mean, that's a lot of money.
I'm not arguing that at all, and my hope is that the legal fees are going to, end up being like how we've over budgeted for parts of our infrastructure. So the current budget that that we're getting ready to end up, we budgeted $500,000. And if you remember, I think we were estimating about, what were we estimating a year ago when our cash was gonna be, like 2.2
Right.
something?
Yeah, it's actually
And now we're
in the
estimating our
financials.
cash to be 2.4.
Yes, that's
And that
actually
was
in the
with,
financials, let me find it. But your numbers, I'm pretty sure, are very close.
And that was with a $500,000 deficit.
Right, we thought it would be just over 2 million when we were budgeting last year, and this says about 2.4 million in
Right.
the financials.
And
Just under
so
2.4 million.
that's why I'm comfortable moving forward, even though the numbers look horrible on paper. I see it as plan for the worst and hope for the best.
Catherine,
So-
last year we had a COVID situation that prevented a lot of things from happening because we were struggling with that. So that's really not a really fair comparison. And I agree with Art. I think your legal expenses, I think your administrative costs are way too high. It's 1/4 of the district's $4 million budget is going on administrative expenses. You've got almost $300,000 in park improvements before we've ever seen a park plan. I don't want to approve park
Okay.
improvements until we've seen the plan. There is no nighttime security patrol, which is a mere $45,000. We're gonna do all these other things and let these cars continue to get broken into? That's ridiculous. The hatch lift station with the spare pump and Herb's design of the new electronics, that's $100,000 right there. Then another $200,000 to actually do the work. You all voted last month to agree to abide by the advice of the financial advisor who said 1 year of money in reserve. There is nothing in this budget to save any money. This budget is not a placeholder to do what you want. It's supposed to tell the people how we're spending their tax dollars. This does not address that. There is nothing in here that has been voted on and approved by a full 5-member board, not just the 4 that support your agenda.
Okay, I'm ready to move forward with a vote.
Catherine, can
Sure.
I just say something?
Sure.
I also feel uncomfortable about the legal expenses, and
It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, it's
Yes.
ridiculous.
But I understand what you're saying, but I see it as, legal expenses are sort of like water revenue. We can't control how much water we sell, and how much water we have to buy. And if you wanna lower that number, that's fine, but if it's more or less, it's not gonna be anything that we have done at this board meeting.
that, I understand that, and I think the issue is that while I feel that it is absolutely true that there are certain legal expenses that we can't avoid, and while I feel that it's absolutely true that if the lawsuit that we're currently facing continues, if certain things, if the trajectory we've been on in the last year continues, we're going to probably all see that amount of legal costs. But a lot of those things I don't value, and I feel like when I put my endorsement on this budget, I'm saying I value what we're spending this money on, and I don't value that. And I feel like if we do end up having to spend it anyway, then at that point, I feel like then at least we have the opportunity to say, either we need to amend our budget because we have these expenses that we have to pay for, or it comes out of our emergency fund. But either way, what we're losing as a result of having to pay that absurd amount of legal fees then is very obvious.
Okay.
Because I cannot feel comfortable valuing putting a number on paper saying that I endorse this much in legal expenses. I think it's
Well,
Well,
Yeah, and I'm trying to
so
put it
what
around.
is the number you want then? Because from my point of view, we can put $50,000 in there and it's just as a value, it's just as realistic as the fact that we might spend 150.
I think in a
Yes.
budget, you're supposed to put what you expect to be spending. Now, you know what's coming down the road. What do you expect that to cost?
I have no idea how much
You have an
money.
attorney right here asking.
No, I have no idea how much money we're gonna spend because of your lawsuit against the board. I have
Well,
no idea how much
We
money
need
we're
some
gonna
type
spend.
of risk assessment to say, okay, what are we at risk here for? And if we're at risk, what is that gonna cost us? But, I mean, I agree with you, I mean, you're trying to cover our legal expenses for everything else, but it's just so intangible to me because we could be using it for other things that
Oh,
aid the
absolutely.
district.
Can I say, am I correct, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't we already at 85,000
For the
this
lawsuit,
year for legal fees?
for the lawsuit against the
Yeah, but it
board.
doesn't say
Yeah.
we have to continue. We can say emphatically, hey, we're gonna cut our legal costs, let's figure out a way to do it. you know?
And there is ways to do it.
Okay, so I still wanna move forward. What is the number that you feel that is realistic? Art, what's your number?
Okay, well, let's go to professional legal services. We adopted in 2021 90,000. Let's cut that down to 90,000.
Okay, do you have a recommendation, Megan?
Yeah, I think what I'm comfortable with is what is kind of, I mean, I haven't been on the board long enough to really know, but, you know, what is sort of standard for this MUD to be spending on legal expenses, barring, you know, obviously there's gonna be weird little things here and there, but barring these extravagant expenses that we've had to incur over the last.
Well,
Maybe
extravagant,
two or three.
extravagant is not the word that I would want to use, because that means something wonderful.
That's true, it's not wonderful.
So, and unfortunately, we have been under attack from a legal, open records point of view long enough so that it's starting to show up on our trajectory.
Right.
So, are you comfortable going with $90,000 then?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would be comfortable kind of following Art's lead on this, because he's been on the board a long time.
Okay.
Well, I'm not comfortable with 90, but I'm just benching, I'm just using this as a benchmark because we have to
Yeah.
approve the budget today.
Okay,
So
So-
I use 90 and then the next one litigation, okay,
That's all your
Yeah.
special counsels.
yeah, those are special
Well,
counsel.
Well, litigation is for, being sued. Am I wrong? Or us suing somebody?
Yeah, I'm using that line for lawsuits.
Okay, okay.
And I separated it out first because we had a line for that, and second because it seemed clear that the board wanted to keep an eye on that. Because
Right.
otherwise, the legal line just would have been,
So some of those
Totally
things we
outlined.
can control. We can control who we sue. We cannot control being sued. And so how do you you have a number, Art, you want
If it was my preference, I'd say 10,000.
to? Well,
You can say
unfortunately,
it's not a real budget.
yeah.
It's not a real budget, it's just,
Well,
it's
let's
just
put it to this. We know that if we have to appeal the lawsuit that Linda has against us, it's gonna cost us $55,000 in the next budget year. So, if we add $25,000 to that, do we feel better? Does that feel like a number that we can live with?
Well, yeah, I can
Okay.
live with 25,000. I mean,
Okay.
like I said, like Megan said, if we have to do an amendment,
Oh, and that is the thing that we have to remember, is you can amend the budget anytime you want.
I just don't want to go into the year with these kind of legal costs,
Right.
or
Oh.
legal projections,
Okay, okay.
you know.
Do you have a
leave bad taste in my mouth.
recommendation, Beth?
then you should go into the new year.
I'm fine
a-
with that, what
a-
Art said, and if
Okay.
we have to spend more, then we'll have
Wait,
to
there
figure
was
it out at that time.
Okay, so,
optimistic view.
so
what are we-
80,000 for legal litigation?
right, so what are we at now?
Okay, without making changes to legal services itself, I haven't moved that number yet, because I didn't hear a consensus. That puts us at a deficit of 261.
Okay,
Okay, so we're at 90,000 for the legal services, and how much was for the other one?
Well, I didn't move the legal services. Do you want me to move it to 90? I hadn't heard really consensus. I
Which
guess
one
I
did
do
you
have a
move to
consensus there.
90, litigation?
No,
It's
the,
8,
legal
litigation
services.
to 80.
Okay, what did you,
And now moving legal services to 90. And that puts the deficit at
Bill, can you ask him to be removed,
176,
please?
375?
Okay,
Constable, please have David removed.
yes,
David.
David,
Now,
Let's go.
go.
go, yeah.
Come on, it's not a question. Everything, bring your property. Sir, come on.
And sir, what happens if he doesn't
Criminal
comply?
trespass warning, and I will, doesn't adhere to that, and he goes to jail.
Thank you.
I think we've been patient enough, David. Officer, would you please, Constable, would you please just remove him?
Al,
He
let's
agreed
go.
he would not go, so.
Let me just state this.
No,
This is my
no,
First Amendment
no,
right.
no,
It is
This is
not
my
your
first-
first.
Quickly,
no,
And be careful.
quickly.
quickly, no, there
This
is
is my
no,
First Amendment
there-
right.
no,
So if you remove me, you're violating my First Amendment right,
no,
and
Okay.
you
no,
will lose qualified immunity for violating my rights.
Okay,
Okay?
Okay.
My constitutional rights.
then you can sue me and do whatever you need to do. Come on, let's go. Out. Come on. Out.
oh my gosh, what a child.
Out. Come here, let me talk to you about this, what's going on. David,
I'm gonna move the podium, because I don't want to.
Constable, I'm asking you to please follow through what was asked of you.
come on, let's go.
you're not allowed to correct.
I did not break any laws.
Let him do his job.
I did not break any laws.
He's doing his job.
Back, back.
No,
You
tell
don't
me
know
to be
what he
quiet.
did to us the other night.
Yes.
Do not tell me to be quiet.
Dave,
I absolutely. You're the one that egged him on.
You're violating my constitutional right. Okay?
Come on. This is, don't hurt yourself, get up.
You don't know what he done.
I'm gonna witness, see if you get dragged to the street.
Can we carry on with the meeting, Catherine? There's been enough drama.
yeah, hold on.
I'm sorry?
That's his. That's his
His what?
one.
Okay, so I'm gonna reiterate that, even though the constable's not in the room at the moment, that the remaining, public needs to adhere to the rules as they were, described earlier this, at the beginning of the meeting. Okay, so where are we? Where are we?
All right, let me reiterate that we've lowered the legal services budget to 90,000 and the legal litigation budget to 80,000.
80.
We haven't done anything with the record request number, which is at 150,000, and I'm projecting, under 73,000 for this year.
Okay, so you could lower that significantly then?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
So would you like me to lower it to about 75,000?
That sounds fair.
For which one?
Open records request.
Okay, so what about the legal litigation? We really
Yeah.
want 90, 80,000?
Well, see, this is what, remember, if we're gonna be realistic, if we are forced to defend an appeal, on the lawsuit against us, we know that it's gonna cost $55,000. That's what our legal, counsel has told us. And so, let's just throw a few more dollars in there. So $55 is if we don't have any more litigation next year. So that's why I think 85 is fine. 80 is fine.
And what did you put open records at?
75.
75, which is close to this year's projected run rate.
Okay.
That's a controllable expense.
Open records request?
Yes,
No, it's not.
absolutely it is.
Absolutely not.
Release the records.
It has not, I'm not gonna argue with you about it.
I'm telling you
Where
how
are
to do
we,
it.
where are we now?
All right, let me swing to the bottom again. That puts that at just over 101,000, 101,375.
Okay, so that is, I'm much more I'm comfortable with that number. Do you have any other numbers that you want to adjust?
I do. Are you going to allow me to participate in this budget, Catherine?
You're more than welcome to suggest numbers to adjust.
Okay, I would like to include nighttime security patrols for all the petty crime that's happening in the neighborhood. And we had talked about that on the security committee. It's only $45,000 to get 4 hours a night of security patrols done in the neighborhood. It's absolutely necessary. The constituents want it. There's more and more of that petty crime happening. And we don't need to spend $80,000 on decomposed granite and not provide security for this community. I think we could divvy that up, do some granite this year, some granite next year, and then do security for the neighborhood. That would be a suggestion.
Okay, so hold on, just so I'm clear,
Mhm.
are you talking about eliminating the constables?
No, including the constables in the morning
Okay.
and hired security unless we can get the sheriff, which is still looking doubtful. But the hired security that we know would do the 1 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the morning patrols, leave a car parked in the neighborhood, that kind of thing.
So you're looking to add $45,000 to the bottom line?
It's a $45,000 cost.
Okay, so I'm okay with, and this is where we have to remember, there's things we can put in the budget that, in the end, we don't end up doing. That happens all the time. We've got lots of park projects that didn't get completed. So, does anybody else have any comments about adding that?
Adding the security?
Yeah.
My comment is the same comment I made before about that, which is that I would like to see evidence that having a single patrol car in our entire district, driving through the district at night, will make a meaningful impact on petty crime. I'm not convinced it will. I'm not an expert in it. What I've tried to read about it online is very mixed. And so it's a significant cost for something that I'm not sure will make a difference. I'm all about trying things. I'm all about doing the experiment to make things better, but
Well, are you opposed to putting it in the budget? That's all I'm asking. Because just because we put it in the budget, after we do our analysis, we may decide not to do anything.
it's not.
Yeah. So I'm okay with putting it in the budget, and then because at a later point in this fiscal year, we're gonna make a determination how to expend that money. Okay,
That's fine.
anything else?
I agree with what Megan said.
Okay, so now we're at like 150,
Right, yeah. like-
and I think I'm gonna say that it's probably the lowest deficit of any budget that I've ever worked on. Okay, so,
And that's 45,000, is that correct?
yes.
And it's a little split, I think it's 42 for the service, and then the difference is the car.
Right,
Yeah,
I don't remember the exact numbers, but something like that.
okay, so,
right, and that'll put us at 146. Let me
Right.
Yes, 146, 375.
yeah, okay. So Bill, how do I adjust my motion for all those changes that we've made to the
Yeah, so
budget?
you need to amend your motion
Okay,
to recommend or move to approve the budget with all of the changes just
Okay.
discussed,
okay,
and then you need a second.
okay. So I move that we approve the budget as we've had, with the changes that we've discussed. Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, so, any last comments about this budget? Okay, all those in favor, raise their hand. Okay, all those opposed?
And for the record,
Oh, we're not doing that
oh,
anymore.
we are doing that, it's
No, I'm
required.
sorry. No,
Yes,
it is-
ma'am.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
ma'am.
We are
For
not
the
having, we're
record.
not having a for the record. I'm moving on to the next agenda item.
Catherine, you are totally violating
Okay.
the procedures of the board, and I will
Order
not let
approving
that
the
go.
district appraisal rule and setting the district's tax rate for 2021. Okay, so tell us, Bill, what's next?
Okay, so in your packet's a proposed order, based upon the rates in your budget, would be 0.016 for maintenance and operation, 0.0275 for debt service, for a total tax rate of 0.3291. Those will be the numbers filled in the blank. I think the board was provided with a copy where that is completed. And so this order inserts that and adopts the certified appraisal roll from your two counties in the amount of $685,089,074.
Okay, is this what we're talking about?
This order adopting district's appraisal roll.
Okay, okay.
No, not the signed one. It would be unsigned. Sorry for the confusion.
So, tell me again what we adopted is?
No, that was just a notice,
Okay, so
and that was what we had proposed. You go to item 4 in the packet.
That
It's this order,
one. Okay.
and these are the numbers
I
that.
guess John was looking at the right thing.
Okay,
Okay, no,
so, Art, you want to make the motion?
okay, give me the numbers again. I'll make the motion.
Okay, so this one has the numbers for.
Okay. Should I read the whole thing?
No, you don't have to read the whole.
here it is.
It's certified?
No, that's, if it's signed, it's not the proposed order. Were you guys able to find yours? Okay.
Was it a single page?
It's this,
Whenever you're ready, I'll.
Hold on. Okay, Linda, this is a complete, you've taken yours apart.
I
which is
won't
fine,
take it
but-
apart in the future.
Yeah, but this is a complete,
in
packet.
order?
Double sided.
I'll just look at his, okay?
Here's the order we're talking about. And the numbers were the numbers that I read.
Okay.
They're filled in this one. Art's gonna include it if he makes a motion.
Okay, I'll read 1 and 2, correct? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now, so now, be ordered by the Board of Directors of Williamson Travis County Municipal Utility District that, number 1, that the certified appraisal roll prepared by the Williamson Central Appraisal District and the Travis Central Appraisal District in a combined total amount of $685,089,074 are hereby collectively approved and adopted as the 2021 tax roll of the district. Number 2, the following tax rate shall be levied for the 2021 tax year. 0.3016 per $100 tax value of the purposes of maintenance and operations. 0.0275 per $100 value, or taxable value of, for debt services, for a total tax rate per $100 taxable value of 0.3291. District tax collectors are hereby authorized to assess and collect the taxes of the district employing the above tax rate for the year 2021.
Okay.
Passed and approved on September 15th.
Okay, so
You need a second.
I need a second. Okay, that's right. I will second that. Okay.
Discussion.
Yeah, exactly. So do we have any more discussion about that particular part of the tax rate?
I do. I have a discussion. Bill, be sure I'm on the right page. This document describes to the public what we're gonna do with their money, right? This is it is called amended information form. This is how we tell the public what we're doing with their money, am I right? Well, how we're using their tax dollars.
The amended information form is statutorily required.
Right.
And the verbiage is mandated by statute.
Good.
And indicates your tax rate and so forth.
Mhm.
And the reason we're considering it is because of the tax rate change.
Okay, this is the form that goes with the explanation to the public of why their taxes are gonna go up, maybe not the rate, but the amount. And
Yeah, it doesn't actually do that, but in a sense, it's notice to the public of what the tax rate is.
okay, so on number 8 on this document, it says, "The district is performing or will perform the following functions: the distribution of water for municipal, domestic, commercial, and other beneficial uses, the collection and transportation of wastewater, the gathering, conducting, diverting, and control of local stormwater and other harmful excesses of water in the district, and the operation of a solid waste collection and disposal system." But we don't really do that part. But what's missing in that verbiage is parks. Yet $300,000 of our budget is going to parks, and we're using the taxpayers' dollar in a way that we're not telling them. Now, I understand that verbiage may be standard, but I don't think that's a very legitimate way to explain to the taxpayer what we're doing with their money. Because parks are not an essential business of the MUD. They should be, that we have them, they absolutely should be maintained. But right now, our current system costs us $83,000 a year just to maintain the parks that we have. Now we're going to add another $300,000 on top of that. Nobody's looking at a budget as a means of managing money. They're looking at it as a means of spending
Do you
money,
have
and
a-
that's not what it's about.
Do you have a
That's my
resolution?
comment.
Okay.
That's my comment.
Could I clarify something?
Yes.
Okay. So the amended information form is actually a different agenda item
Mhm.
from setting the tax rate. And we certainly can address that, your comments, when we vote on that, if you like. But I think right now, and I'm not trying to
Yeah.
control the meeting at all, but right now we're trying to vote
Right.
on the
And
tax
so,
rate. We'll have a separate vote on the amended.
I
information
realize
form.
that's a separate vote, but I believe they go hand in hand because this is supposed to identify to the public why their tax rate is what it is because of what we do. And these documents are not congruent. That's
Okay.
my message.
Okay, and I'm not gonna argue with you about them being congruent, but they are separate items.
okay. So we have a second on our rate order. I'm ready to take the vote.
No, it's on the tax rate.
Right,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, the tax rate, I'm sorry. Sorry, the tax rate. So all those in favor, say aye. All those opposed?
Opposed because it
No.
does not address the needs of the district.
Okay, so now agenda item 5 is the amended information form, which Linda has already discussed. So Bill, is there anything wrong with how our form is put together?
It
Is
says
it-
other beneficial uses.
Yeah, well, and I guess that's what I'm trying to understand is it supposed to list everything that we could possibly spend money on?
The short answer is no.
Okay,
This is a statutorily mandated form, and so it requires certain information. If the board wanted to amend paragraph 8 to add reference to parks or other services, we certainly could do that tonight. This form has been this way for quite a while, and
Okay.
this concern hasn't been raised, but if the board wants to amend it, they can,
Okay.
that section.
I make a motion that we amend that form to include how we spend the taxpayers' money.
well, let's be a little more specific. How about we amend the form to say for the maintenance of parks?
To include the maintenance of parks. Is you taking my motion, or
Well, that's what I'm.
would you like me to redo the motion?
Yeah, please redo the motion.
I
Yeah.
make a motion that the form, amended information form be amended to include the taxpayers' dollar going to the maintenance of parks
How about ponds?
and ponds.
So that means we can't do any improvements.
Well,
Not without a vote.
Yeah, and that's not safe for the people, so I'm not gonna.
well, I guess we have to, I don't want to get into nitpicky in terms of.
Correct.
Because you'll just call it maintenance when you do it, so.
Well, okay, I'm just gonna tell you that my definition of an improvement at this point would be building something brand new. And I don't perceive that we're ever gonna be doing that because we don't have any place to put
Like a
some.
brand new park.
Yes, that's the,
A brand new playscape is an improvement.
no, I
A
consider.
water park is an improvement. New trails are an improvement.
No, I consider those maintenance.
It's all maintenance.
I
Well,
consider it maintenance.
As long as there's not gonna be an argument over semantics in the future,
Yeah.
and someone's gonna call me out for misspending no. Wanting to
Well,
spend
I mean,
tax
those are approved
dollars.
projects.
Yeah, they'll be approved projects if
Right.
you do them.
Yeah, so I'm not concerned about that. So I'm okay with making
mine.
that document a little more specific, even though it's worked just fine for the last 15 years on running that. So I'll go ahead and approve your, second your motion. I'm sorry, we're a little out of order here. And let's, I'll go ahead and call the vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed?
Nay.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what I want to do now is,
Did somebody say no on that one?
these two women did, okay. So let's move on to agenda item number 6, the bookkeeper's report.
Sure.
And, okay, so who's going first?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right, so, that's a separate handout, the financials. Starting on page 1, the cover sheet.
Actually, Michael, what I would really like to do is sort of run a more streamlined
Sure.
meeting tonight, and what I would like to do is jump to the
Payment register?
yeah, the check register, because I want to talk about
And that
some of
starts on page 16.
right, and so I want to talk about some of the issues that were discussed this month, when the billing and invoice committee met. So I know that, and I want to direct everybody to remember what last month, that we had a discussion last month about sort of like the all hands on deck emergency that we were having with the ponds in Travis County. And one of the things that happened is that we had Herb and Gray Engineering working on that project, and we really didn't assign a project to it. And we had more activity on that this month, and so what I would like to do is formally create a project so that activity where the engineer is working on getting that problem with the ponds resolved is officially recognized. So the first thing I want to do is I make a motion that we authorize Gray Engineering to keep working with Infomark to resolve all of the, maintenance and inspection issues that we have in the Travis County ponds.
I call it the notice of non-compliance.
The notice of non-compliance, that's what it is, the notice of non-compliance. Okay. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Okay, do we have any discussion about
We
that?
have discussion, Catherine.
Yes, we'll have some discussion.
We will have discussion, Catherine, because Infomark is paid over $1 million a year now to do that. That's part of their job description. And it doesn't require an engineer to manage a contract or a contractor. It requires Infomark to do their job, which they
Okay.
have failed. That's why we have
Okay.
failed inspections. That's why we don't have an MS4 permit. That's not in the engineer's contract. It's not his job. Now, you've spent over $5,000 this month for Herb to do Infomark's job.
I
Who
disagree.
approved that? Who approved that?
I told you, that's why we're having this discussion.
No, you can't do it
This-
after the fact. He's
Listen,
already,
we had an emergency and.
it wasn't an emergency. It
I
was not.
disagree with it. I
You always disagree.
I know.
My point is this, it's on his invoice, he does not have an approved project to charge for.
And we're gonna.
It's $5,000
That's what I'm
plus.
solving, that's what we're solving for now.
So you're gonna do
So
it by,
I'm going
No,
to
ma'am.
call for the vote.
you are so out of line.
I'd like to call for the vote and authorize Gray Engineering to keep working with Infomark. Can I, everybody, all in
Okay,
favor?
so, I'm sorry, just repeat it again.
Well, okay, so the issue that we ran into, remember we had this big problem, with the notice of
They
non-compliance.
contacted her.
Million.
Yes, and so.
No,
Herb-
Infomark contacted her.
Listen, both Herb and Infomark have been working diligently for the benefit of the mud. And last month, we talked about it, and we told Herb to keep working on it, but we forgot to go through the motion of approving the project. So I want to make sure that we have solved that problem. So that's what this motion is about. because he has continued, Gray Engineering has continued to work on our behalf to resolve this problem this month. And that's what I'm saying, that's what I'm trying to resolve.
Okay, and the verbiage would be, because it was in between meetings, and in between the committee meetings and stuff.
Well-
We had to address the issue, it wasn't an emergency, but it was, we had to address the issue because we're being cited,
Right.
right? Now,
Last month,
Sunscape dropped the ball.
right, and last month, we forgot to do what I'm trying to do right now.
Okay.
So
That's
Sunscape
right.
dropped the ball, and Infomark is responsible for their contract and managing that contractor. So Infomark didn't manage the contractor, and then they called Herb to come in and clean up their mess. So Herb is now somewhere in the neighborhood of $9,000 in billables to do Infomark's job, to get Sunscape out there, to read them the riot act about cleaning out the detention
Okay.
ponds so water
So-
will flow.
But it was still cheaper than what the fine would have been.
Right, so I'm ready to call the vote. All those in favor?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
We don't
okay,
pay our
the second-
contractors to do
okay,
other
the second-
But we
contractors'
also,
work.
we do have to hold Infomark, they said they were gonna develop a scorecard.
Right, and they are working on that. We have
Okay.
two reports.
We need a schedule for that because that is an essential part of those ponds and the compliance portion of the pond.
Okay,
And Infomark is responsible for our MS4 compliance. This is all in Infomark's contract.
okay. I have more issues that I wanted to bring up before we.
But let me just say one thing, Herb is the expert on that, that's
Yes.
the only one
No,
who did that.
that's wrong. Infomark is the premier water company. They're the experts. Herb's firm is civil engineering. Although he has a lot of knowledge because he's worked in a lot of muds. But we should not allow one contractor to
Okay,
use
I'm
our
ready to move
expensive
on.
Why not help each
contractor
other?
to do
I'm-
their job.
I'm
They were
ready to move
helping
on.
each other get a job
Ladies,
done.
ladies, okay. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, that was discussed in the billing and invoices, committee this month was that the Parks Committee had an extremely long, budget meeting in August that Herb attended. And it was, as a result, they were $40 over the, their approval. And so I just want to acknowledge that, and, you know, it's one of those things that's not supposed to happen, but it was an extremely long meeting.
Catherine, can I also just say that I'm not sure it actually technically was over because we have authorized, maybe I'm wrong, but my understanding is we were authorized between meetings. The meeting we had with Herb was between the last July meeting and the first August meeting. It was only $800 some. That's
Right.
within our authorization amount. The other 200, whatever it was, for minor things, didn't happen until after the last meeting of August.
Okay, so it's a timing issue as to
So
when it was invoiced.
So
Okay.
there were two things that added up to over 1,000, but there were separate things that happened in different parts,
At different time frames.
different times. So
Okay.
we're not actually over.
Okay, so.
Did you submit an additional service form? Because I
Sure
didn't
did.
see it.
It's in here.
Yeah, okay, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, I think Mackenzie, it was somebody in Cottonweed, is that what it was? We had a situation where a resident said, I think I have a water leak. We went out there, we analyzed it, and they said, no, it's on your side. And our policy is to not charge that back to the resident when it happens. Am I correct? What is our policy on
Our
that?
best practice has always been when they call it out and they don't know if it's on their side or ours and they report that there's a district leak, which is usually what happens, we go and check it just to make sure it's not on our side, and that's exactly what happened. We didn't make any repairs, we just shut their water off for them and determined that it wasn't ours.
Okay,
Your FAQ document on the website instructs the customer to do something totally different, not call Infomark, call a plumber. So either fix your site so
And-
that it tells everyone to call Infomark to check where the leak is, and we pay for everybody's determination of where their leak
I
is.
have no problem making adjustments, having the website committee make adjustments to the FAQ. The only reason I'm bringing it up is I know that it was something that, you know, we probably needed to discuss. And I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what the other pieces were because I wrote them all down and I forgot my paperwork. Was there anything else that we discussed that was important, Mackenzie?
There's two more that Linda submitted for work orders. One of them was 2621801. This one was the one I discussed with you where Carlos was out doing the doggy pot install
Okay.
and 3/4 of his time was regular and then he ran into 15 minutes of overtime. And
Okay,
that one was requested as a refund.
okay.
It's $35.85.
Okay, and what else do we have?
The last one is work order 2628971. Linda had reported that Carlos Miranda was the base tech for that day, and she wants the refund of $296.89, and that's in fact not true. There are plenty of other work orders that day that show Phil was your base tech.
Okay, and that's fine, and, oh, the other thing I remember is we had a number of open records requests from Sage that came through today, came through this month, and,
And they messed up their invoicing again?
hold on. Bill, refresh my memory, I think we have a resolution on file that says that our vendors are to charge for when they respond to open records requests. Because I'm trying to verify that this is not a, that this is something that the open records request committee needs to fill out paperwork for additional services.
But I don't have that resolution in front of me that
Yeah.
you're speaking of. We had resolutions in the past. But if this was actual services performed,
Right, that's what
and the
this
board
is.
wants to pay the contractor,
Right,
then you can authorize it under work that had to be done to respond to open
right,
records.
well, all of
And you
the,
can do it through committees.
right, if I remember correctly, the invoices had the open records request, number from your office on them as part of the invoice.
And we needed their assistance to,
Right,
in this particular case.
The
Okay.
problem with their invoice, Catherine, is they charged 1 hour too many. They did a bad math calculation on that invoice. Did you catch that, Michael Luft? I sent you a list of $1,155.77 worth of errors
I saw
this
the
month.
email, I did not catch the original math error on the
If there
invoice.
is a math error on that invoice, right? Sage makes math errors on their invoices almost every single month.
Okay.
Catherine, I need you to explain on that invoice the difference, why we're paying different for night and day letters, because it's still one envelope, one piece of paper, and one stamp. So I want to know why you're allowing Sage to bill for those two things separately, which drives up the cost every single month of what their contract says are non-certified letters.
Just for clarification, are you saying that the letter for a day tour is different than the letter for a night tour?
What they are doing on every single invoice is separating, and I'll make up numbers because I don't have them in front of me. If they did 30 letters in the day and 50 letters at night, they have their range rate and they'll separate them. And if you add the two together, total letters, and look at the rate, it's usually about $35 less than when you separate it. Their contract does not differentiate between night and day letters. I'd like to understand the additional cost for night letters because they're separated out. And more importantly, I want to know who authorized them to change the terms of their contract and bill this way. Their contract says non-certified letters are valued at X based on number of letters in this range. If you will look at their contract and see what they're doing, every single month they take at least $35, sometimes $70 from this district, just in the way they invoice. That is demonstrable from every single invoice. I've sent it to this entire committee. It's
Okay.
not like you don't know what's
Okay.
going on. You do.
So the reason, okay, thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Okay, so, the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because I want to make it clear that the Billing and Invoice Committee did a very thorough review of, and we paid especially a lot of attention to the Infomark invoices to make sure that all the work orders and the invoices all went together. And working through that, we didn't have any adjustments, because we've always had some adjustments that seem to be slopping over from month to month for the last few months. So what I would like to do is, the Billing and Invoice Committee would like to recommend that we adopt or we pay the amount on the check register, and can you give me that number, please, Michael?
All right, so which check are we talking about? Oh, total?
Yes, 4,405, I think it was.
The full check register total is 470, 540, 63.
475, 60,
540, 63.
540, 63. So 470, 540, and $63. So
There's no amendments?
No, there's no.
She won't, she doesn't want to make the corrections necessary to,
So I
that are
move.
necessary.
So I move that we approve the check register in the amount of $470,000, $540.63. Okay. Can I have a second, please?
A second.
Okay. Can we have do we have any more discussion about the check register as it's been presented?
You guys are confident in the check register?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. In fact, this is like the fourth time that we've gone through the check register in the way that we did, and we were able to tie every single work order from Infomark, an invoice back to the work order. So this one I was really happy with because it was very well put together.
Thank
Can
you.
I just ask real quick before we vote, Michael, what did we decide to do about Verdunity's check?
Well, yes, glad you brought that up. That invoice came in late to us,
All right.
so it didn't make the check register. The suggestion was that we, and I should have, this was brought in, I have it on my computer here, so I can pull it up.
Thanks.
But have the board approve it, and then we can, one or two ways, either cut an additional check for it. I didn't bring any blanks because I don't like to use them. But we could cut an operating check that you'll approve at your next board meeting,
Okay.
if there is one. Or that you approve it here, and then we circulate it for signatures. And I would date it tomorrow so that it shows up on your next register, so you got the full record for the full month. Or alternatively, you could approve us to pay that out of the manager's account. And the same thing, again, dated so it'll show up on your next register. So that's really that's really, as long as the board is willing to approve it, we have multiple viable ways to get that check out to the
Okay.
Do you have a preference as to the myriad of ways we can take care of that?
Whatever's most efficient and gets them paid this month.
I would like to make a suggestion if I could. We're gonna seek approval of last month's Infomark invoice as well, with the exception of one reduction of one of the work orders for the invoice that was incorrectly attached. We still don't have the corrected invoice for it, so once Michael can pull that amount, I was gonna suggest that we do a check that we can circulate. We'll get the tech to bring it around, because then we'd have two checks.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay, so that's a separate
can we do a
approval, right?
separate then
Yeah, they'll be
motion?
separate. I just wanted to kind of throw the two
Okay.
hand in hand of what we
Okay,
could
so we don't need to make any change to my number on
do.
this
No, this
one.
is from last month.
Right, but on this.
This
Okay.
has nothing to do with this
Okay.
check
Change to
register.
this number.
Okay,
we can
so-
balance. Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead and call a vote.
No,
Yeah?
discussion's not over.
Oh.
No, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Oh.
I followed your instructions. I sent Michael in advance my concerns. You failed to address your trip to South Padre in your extra day. You didn't address everything on my list. That doesn't get hidden under the rug, Catherine. You and Beth took a trip to South Padre for a conference. You stayed at least one extra night in a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath condo. You rented a car, she flew, apparently somebody flew. We've got receipts that have no names, no dates, no amounts, and you guys have already been paid. Wrong, 1,000 times wrong.
Okay, so just so.
I will not send any more corrections to you. I will collect them and do something more damaging with them by turning
Okay.
them over
I got it.
to someone who will look at these books. I
Okay,
have
so
found
it's
in
a-
excess of $13,000
Okay, enough.
in overcharges
Michael.
in this
Michael?
district.
Michael, you have my stuff, correct?
Yes.
$13,000
So
in
what-
overcharges
so,
that this board, these four members approve month after month after month.
Okay.
All of them have seen the
I'm
documentation.
looking to
No
close this-
explanation.
Okay, the only comment I
Linda, you're
have,
wrong.
Documentation of-
This is
I
the invoice
sent
number.
you an
No,
email
that's
that
our
showed
invoice
you
number.
every
It's
single
invoice
mistake
number.
on the last
The one
month's
that was-
batch of
this one right here,
invoices,
first one.
including the repair for the Blue Hole workstation in Wimberley, Texas.
okay,
This happens
628.
every
And then we have
single
15.
month, every month.
okay.
Look at what you're sent, that
Okay, enough.
information is there.
Okay, so I'm looking to, I move that, I make a motion that we close discussion. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Okay, so, I have a.
You can't make a
Call a
motion.
vote on that motion.
Okay, so I need to call a vote on closing discussion.
Well, you
So
have
we
to
just
call a
need to
vote
deduct
on
it, 'cause I'm gonna add it.
Right,
Your
yes,
first motion.
right, okay, so, all those in favor of approving the check register, say aye. Okay,
Opposed,
okay,
Hang on.
vehemently opposed to
Okay.
spending money that is not justified with receipts.
okay,
I-
so,
Michael has everything.
Your receipts are incomplete.
No,
What
they're
was
not.
in, what was in the
Michael,
billing
are
and
they
invoice
incomplete?
package is
She has
incomplete.
submitted more backup to me, and so,
And did that
Okay.
happen before today, Michael Luft?
so,
Did you
okay,
get
what
those
I'd like to
receipts
move
before
forward-
today?
Okay, so, hold
I had
on,
some items, and
Enough.
there are some
I'm
more
moving
backup
on.
for the backup. And that's what
Michael,
we
I'm
got.
moving on, so one of the things that I would like to do as we start talking about and organizing our reports is, we have an awful lot of pieces of our reports that are what I'll call very constant. It's the same information every single month. And I would like to come up with a way to reorganize what I'll call the template of how our reports are put together, so that we could, the stuff that we don't have to discuss, it's like, okay, fine, we can review it. It doesn't need to, we don't need to have a half an hour discussion about it, because it's the same every single month. And that's what I'd like to do. So we've approved,
So you're 100%
Michael, we've approved the check register this month. Is there anything else that you felt that we needed to discuss in your,
Financials?
Yeah, otherwise, I'm gonna move forward on to something else.
I feel like I'm being belittled here. My financials aren't important to you anymore.
They're important, Michael, and I have a question.
No, actually, in terms of the overall numbers, there was not really a dramatic shift this month. So we were slightly in surplus for the month, so we were right on
Right.
line to where we were last month.
Okay,
So.
and where are we on our not to exceed expenditures?
Right, and that's on pages, you asked me to get rid of the pond piece that had been sitting there, that was multiple pages that we weren't doing anymore on.
Right.
So that's the last page of the report, page 33. And I actually, I had two items that I put in against the 5,000 shrubbery, and they are worth asking about. There was the River Rock and Shrubbery at El Solito and Spider Lily by Sunscape for $2,031.36 that you approved last month. And then on Sunscape this month, there was a large invoice. I put it here, but I'm not sure if it actually applies. $11,922.50 for ice storm damage enhancements. And so
What's
I
that?
felt like that was replacing and improving,
Oh,
and that this was parks related, but I was not 100% sure, and I should have reached out and asked. But
It was the 12,000 or 2,500 that we approved months ago for them to go in and replace a bunch of the plants that died.
Okay.
Ice storm damage?
Yeah, from last
yeah, from,
February.
yeah, we lost a lot
For
in
the
the
stuff
ice
that
storm.
died,
We still haven't caught all the way up.
Michael, I have a question about page 31 of your report.
Sure.
The legal, that's open records expenses legal. Last month, I told you that the amount for July of '21 was incorrect, that the Bickerstaff invoice was not for open records. It did not correspond with Bill Flickinger's office. I did ask Bill's office to explain that. Of course, he did not answer. You did not subtract it from this amount. Did you get an answer?
I have no answer, so I
Okay.
have not made a change.
Well, here's my concern, Michael. Every month I bring to your attention errors in these reports, and this is not corrected. So now I feel compelled to go back 9 months to see if all those other coding errors that are in these reports have
Every-
ever been done.
Every other open records request comment that you have made has been addressed.
I'm not talking about the open records, I'm talking
Okay.
about my corrections in general. Like, for instance, the activity codes on the work orders that make a difference when I'm looking to find out how many work orders were against the Hatch lift station.
That
I
is not
asked-
invoicing, that is not a financial information.
I know, it's the way the work order is coded, you
Right,
told
and
me.
that's that's internal, based on our system, which is based off of asset codes and job codes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can't go back and change a work order after it already exists.
I see, so we have totally lost the ability then to use the financial system to pull records to see how much money has been spent on the Hatch lift station.
Well, we
Mackenzie,
can
you
pull
or
reports in
Christie?
other ways, like we can, and
I
Mackenzie
asked for
can
that
explain
report.
this better than I can, but we can run a report that shows exactly how much Hatch has, because we can pull things outside of the system by using names.
When I
like Hatch.
asked you for that
Right.
information, you told me the financial system couldn't give it to me and that Infomark
I
needed
said that
to.
I couldn't give it to you.
Oh, Infomark, I mean,
No.
the other
That
side.
from your financials, I cannot pull that information.
That's what I said.
And I passed that request
Okay,
along.
I have
Okay.
not received that
We
information.
don't have it yet. It's not something I can pull. It's not something she can pull. It's over in AR.
We cannot do a budget without information. We have no idea how much you have spent on the Hatch lift station and why. Yet you're asking us, you're recommending tonight that we purchase a spare pump?
Right?
When we don't know what you have done with that lift station, but
Okay.
what we do know is that the spare pump is $50,000, his design of the electric is another $50,000, and then it's another $200,000 to get the work done. I
Okay.
want to know how much money has been spent on the Hatch lift station in the last 2 years, and I want that information by the end of next week, or it comes to the district as an open records request. You and you have control over that expense. If you
No,
want open records to
I am
come
not.
down,
I'm
get her
sorry.
to do her job.
I'm sorry, you are responsible for your choice to waste taxpayer dollars making open
You
records
are
requests.
responsible to make sure
Okay,
your
I'm going to
contractors
move
deliver
on
the
to-
information that I
I'm
asked
moving
for.
on, and we are moving on to the
Anyone watching,
engineering.
ask for it under open records, as many of you that
Linda,
can.
you're out of order.
Catherine,
Usually.
before we move on to engineering, can we do the approval of last month's invoice?
Oh, I'm sorry.
And the Virginity invoice needs to be approved as
Yes.
well, I believe.
Yeah.
So last month's invoice total was, oh gosh, I lost it.
5,992.
9,992 and some change. We did take off the work order where the Ultraman invoice for the Blue Hole lift station was incorrectly coded completely. We removed the 857.43. We're still waiting on Ultraman to get us the correct invoice. The time for the employees on that work order is correct because that is your district employees that were there. But we just need them to send the correct invoice. So we're gonna move that until we get the invoice. So we've completely credit memoed it. So the new total is 9,135.22.
135.22.
And that's
Okay.
the original 99.92.65 minus the full 857.43.
That's the only correction you made on those mistakes I identified.
Okay, so what is, do we have a work
Absolutely
order
wrong.
number? How do I?
The work order number is 2579930.
She needs the invoice number.
Okay.
That is also 1133891.
1133891. Okay, so I approve Infomark invoice number.
You can approve, you can
I'm
make
sorry.
a motion.
I make a motion to approve Infomark invoice number 1133891 in the amount of $9,135.22. Is that the right number? Okay. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay. Do we have any discussion
We
about
had
this?
discussion, that invoice had many more errors on it that the billing and invoice committee completely missed. They miss them every month. More and more of the same. Infomark
Okay.
is taking this district for over $1.2 million a year and have billing mistakes every single month in excess of $1,000. These
Okay.
are not accidents, ladies and
I'm ready
gentlemen.
to call the
These are
vote.
not accidents.
I'm ready to call the vote. All those in favor? Say yes. Okay. So, do we?
No is my vote.
Okay, that's fine.
I'd like to
And
make a
then we have-
motion, Catherine.
Oh, hold on. We still have another invoice to do.
Virginity.
Yes. Okay, so what do we, so what is that?
Yeah, and that's for 1,000, for, hang on, I had it right here, here we go. 1,000 for their work in, the invoice is dated September 9. It doesn't state a time period, but since their last
Megan, would you
invoice.
go ahead and make that motion, please?
Yeah, motion to approve,
Virginity invoice for
the
$1,000?
virginity invoice for $1,000, thank you.
Okay, okay.
And that's
I'll second
invoice, I'm
that.
sorry, let me go ahead and give you the invoice number for the record.
Okay.
That's invoice number 090-01-05.
Okay. Allison, you got that? Okay, okay. Okay, so we have a second. So we have any discussion about the virginity invoice?
I would like to know what percentage of work is complete with this contract.
Does it say on the invoice, Michael?
The full amount is 20,000, and this is the 12. There was 11,000 prior, so this is 12,000 total, according to their numbers.
Okay, thank you.
So what's the answer?
Oh, the answer is there's
So,
8,000
little
remaining.
over
Sorry.
Okay, a
Yeah.
little over.
This is
Okay.
what
What have they
Hit all the
done?
milestones? I mean,
No, what have we done since the survey? What's been done since the
We
survey?
completed phase 1 of the process.
And there's phase 2 left,
There's phase 2 and 3 left.
2 and 3, but you've spent more than almost half the
It's
money.
a not to exceed budget, so it's 20 grand tops. They're not
Yeah.
gonna bill us more than 20.
Okay, oh, I'm sorry, we still have to call the vote, right? All those in favor?
Discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry, we were discussing. That was the discussion.
Oh, I apologize, you're right,
Yeah.
you're right.
Okay, all those in favor? Say aye. Okay.
No,
Okay, so what else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So one of the things that, if I remember correctly, Herb, as part of your report, you were going to recommend the payment of something.
Bingo construction.
Yes.
you already approved it, it's in the
Right, I just
budget.
wanted to make sure that that was part of what was in the check register.
It is, it's in there.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
the Vinco, which
Yeah,
way is the
sorry.
quickest way for me to find it, is check number 5351 on page 25 in
Okay.
the amount of $44,420.
Right, and correct me if I'm wrong, Herb, that was the only recommend for payment in your report
That
tonight?
is correct.
Okay,
Catherine, I'd like to make a motion, please.
sure.
I make a motion, I move that this board engage the services of a forensic accountant to review the financial records of the district, including the bills and invoices. There is 9 months now of irrefutable evidence of practices that do not conform to accepted accounting practices or principles, or to the responsibilities entrusted to the elected officials to watch over the public's purse. I have shared some of my findings with the entire board, so they are all aware of issues with the account manager's invoicing and the bookkeeper's record keeping. Can I get a second?
So it's a forensic audit?
It's just somebody who's more capable of digging deeper.
Okay, don't we have an audit done twice a year?
That they don't look at the details they don't look at stuff like that, I've already
Well,
tried.
they should, if we're paying
No,
them
they
to
don't
do an
do
audit.
that, they look at materially correct. In other words, did your income and your outgo, do they match his books? And they do,
Okay,
they
we
do.
don't have a second.
Just to clarify, what your auditor does every year is that they have a standard system that they utilize, so they spot check, or they have a required amount of information of invoices that they just randomly check. They have an algorithm that chooses things. Obviously, they're checking all the high items anyway, but then randomly spot checking other things. And so they do look through. They don't look through everything. There is no time. Your
Right,
audit
there's
would
too
cost
many.
$100,000 to do
Right.
that.
But what they do, Art, what they do is they use the minutes from all the meetings and they look at all the motions to make sure that there's an accounting of money
Okay.
spent and a motion to match. So motions like this should trigger the accountant to say, there's something wrong with the books. And
Okay.
I am looking to hire somebody to come in here so I don't have to do this anymore and let somebody else put
Okay,
this
we
to
have
bed.
not had a second,
Let's
so
let
I'm
somebody
moving on.
put this to rest once
Okay.
and for all.
I'm,
Wait a minute, how many, you're making allegations, but how much have you
She's a-
found of
she's-
concrete?
9 months, look at
she's
the,
alleging fraud.
I am not. I am alleging there's problems with the bookkeeping. Every single month, look at the check register and look at the credits back. Every single month. This month, it's $853 from a last month bill. This month, there's $1,155. These are just mistakes. I'm not suggesting fraud.
You've
I'm
called it fraud
suggesting-
in the past.
Because fraud, if you look at the definition, is a mistake that repeats itself. This is
Fraud is
every month
intentional.
for 9 solid months. I literally do this every single month. I
Okay, we have
actually
not
look.
had a second,
I
I'm moving forward.
actually look.
Agenda item 7, the Engineer and Infrastructure Committee report. Okay, so
I
Herb,
jot down every
I
error.
wanna make an
every error.
adjustment to your,
Hey, wait a minute, you didn't let my vote finish.
You didn't get a second, so I'm
Well,
done.
he's still discussing.
Well, listen, you discussed after the second, Herb,
Oh, I mean,
Art,
he was trying to decide if
Art.
he wanted to second.
Art, I'm moving forward, okay?
Okay, before you move on, we have this issue every month.
Listen, I am not convinced that we have fraud in our system. I am not gonna say that we do not have human error, but I do not believe that we have fraud in our system.
You don't think that your trip to South Padre is
That is-
waste?
that-
Not
that-
fraud,
wait a minute,
not
wait a minute,
fraud,
wait a
it's
minute.
waste.
We're talking, wait a minute, that is a totally different conversation.
No, actually, it isn't. It's
No,
part of the
no.
accounting records.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Forensic accountants are not gonna make judgment values on whether somebody going to a conference is a valid thing to
No,
make.
that's a waste. I was giving you
You're-
a
you're-
I
definition
didn't know,
of
you've
waste.
never been to learn.
So, I'm sorry, Art, I'm moving forward, okay? I'm asking you to follow my lead tonight. Please follow my lead.
This will continue every single month, but
I agree.
Catherine,
agree.
now though, now people watching at home should ask for my work product to see
Okay,
what
so
I'm finding.
I'm
You wanna
moving
see
forward,
it?
Herb.
Ask for it under open records, I'll gladly surrender it.
So,
Or just email
Art,
me, I'll
or-
surrender it.
Herb, I'm gonna make a request that you make an adjustment to your, meeting tonight.
Okay.
And looking over your report, if I remember correctly, we don't need to worry about C4 because it's already in the budget and we've already approved it. Moving forward, what I'd like to do is reorganize your report because an awful lot of information in your report is just very informational. And so what I'm looking to do tonight is just have you talk about those things that are gonna require an action. Because we talk about an awful lot of things in subcommittees, but unless we're gonna make a recommendation to the board, it's not necessary to talk about a project that hasn't been approved, we're thinking about making an improvement, starting a project, et cetera.
Okay.
Okay,
So with that in mind, we will go to, on the second page, under GEI items, it would be item B, which you've already discussed, but anything that I'm involved with, I really prefer a separate motion.
right,
That is the completed work of the wastewater mainline and service maintenance project. All of that work was completed, all the documents and videos were submitted. And that's the reason we have the one and only invoice in the amount of $44,200 in here tonight.
right, okay. So we've already approved that, and then the other one that's important for us to talk about.
Wait, I have questions about that Vinco one, that Vinco thing.
Okay,
There was a change order on that project, it was 29% increase over the project cost. Who approved that change order?
It was not an increase in the overall project cost, and within the proposal, each item had two sections of, depending on where the service
I
was
saw
and the
that.
work was actually to do.
I saw that.
The total amount approved was, for the project as a whole, was $56,340.
Right,
The change occurred when they excavated down in Brighton
Brighton
Bend.
Bend, I saw that.
Yeah, there was instead of just being about a yard of concrete on that, they had basically, during the construction of that line, it looked like they had about a half a truck in there.
Yeah, and you can't control that, what you
No.
find under the street.
No.
I'm not
So
doubting the importance.
The reason that, to keep the project moving and get it wrapped up, instead of waiting until the next board meeting, was we looked at the bottom line number that was approved at 56,000, and we were still way under that
Sure,
number.
sure.
So that's where that came
And
in.
you have to keep that stuff moving. I do not
Yes.
deny that. You don't want to leave a gaping hole in the road. My concern is that we had another meeting last night after this occurred, and it was not brought to the board's attention. That's concerning to me. It was not discussed. The invoice was dated 8/10. Our board meeting was on 8/18, so that should have been discussed. Michael, in your billing and invoice, you have the proposal in there. In Herb's engineering packet, he has the true invoice in there. Please switch the two, because we can't use the proposal, it's not reflective of what the check is. And yes, Herb, you're right, you did come under the 56 plus approved, but when any contractor has a change order that is 29% over the cost of doing the job, that's something I want to know about at a meeting.
The
Okay.
reason the invoice was not processed in August is because they had not completed and submitted all the documents that were required.
Okay.
So we held that
Okay.
back until everything was complete.
Okay, and like I said, I understand in an emergency situation, you have to approve that change orders. We don't want you leaving gaping holes in the street, but I do want to know about that stuff.
Sure. We'll pay attention to that and make sure it's brought forward a lot
Thank you.
quicker.
And
Okay.
Michael, did you get that note? It's on, it's in your billing and invoice, batch 2, page 60 and 62. The real invoice in the engineer report is on page 4. The invoice number is 210501. If you need a copy, I think I have it.
I handed you one as well.
Okay, so I think the next one was 2D.
Yeah, actually, per the agenda, because I also have a proposal 21057 in here, which is actually, would fall under the 27I
Okay.
item for the parks issues. I don't remember how many years ago this project started under the Parks Committee, installing LED lights, street signs, speed limit signs. And
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
No, that's not what this is. Engineering services proposal for permitting LED and streetlight signage?
that would be it.
It was going into Travis County, right? It's on
Yes.
Old Mill?
But my understanding, and I don't have all of the details, because really our office has not been involved in this, but it came down to, as I understand it, just needing to file for some permits and getting the permits through the counties. The proposal is basically do it as an hourly basis.
Right.
It should be a quick deal. If it gets hung up by Travis County, I've got no control.
Well, how far did you get with it?
Can I explain?
Yes.
Yes.
Because we contacted her, probably a month ago or so.
Yeah.
This is indeed the speed limit signs that we've been trying to get through Travis County so we can put them up. There's 3 locations, 2 signs, they can be moved around. We worked for untold amount of time with Travis County on a license agreement. When, you'll recall when they got new people involved, and a lot of this happened during the pandemic where they had problems. Got new people involved, they said you can't do a license agreement, you have to do an interlocal agreement. And we pursued that a while until the county attorney said, no, you're wrong, you can do a license agreement. And when we came back to finalize it, because everything had been done, they said, well, you really need to have a permit first. You need to get a permit first, and we'll tie the license agreement to the permit number. And we went back to them a second time and said, are you really serious that we have to do it after all the history? And they said yes. So permits are typically better, more efficiently done by the engineer.
Okay.
So we told her, don't do any work. We don't want them to do anything unapproved. But we were recommending bring a proposal to do the
Okay.
permit part of it, which should not be terribly expensive, so that we can force the county to go to the license agreement. So it's actually, it's a giant mess, but we're right now being told we need a permit. So that's why we asked.
Okay, so, and just so I'm clear, we're gonna have a one-off license agreement that's gonna be tied to a one-off permit, and all the license agreement is gonna do is allow us to put the signs up.
3 signs.
Yeah.
3
yeah,
speed signs.
Yeah,
That is what has been in the works up to this point. And I
Okay.
think you and I talked about, should we add other things to this license agreement? And I said, let's get this and we can
Yeah.
amend it, because otherwise.
okay, okay, so that's my next question is, once we sort of like get something approved, then it's gonna be much easier to add to it, or does it start all over?
I believe it'll be easier, but I can't predict that. Travis County's been very, very difficult lately.
Okay.
Oh, and one quick thing. Linda, you confused me when you said that I had the wrong invoice on the bingo. What you were explaining is that I had the wrong engineering
It's the
backup.
proposal, not the invoice.
Yeah, I see that now.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, I
so-
found the invoice in his packet.
Okay, so what you're asking for is to approve a project to handle getting the permits.
Yes, it will be its own separate little permit project is what it'll be.
Okay.
I will assign a separate number to that, so that you
Okay.
can track the time associated.
Okay. Now, is this gonna be something that's gonna run through the infrastructure committee, or is it gonna run through the parks committee?
That's totally up to the board.
That's an infrastructure item, it's a speed sign sticking in a right of way.
Okay, so give me something to make a motion for.
Wait,
okay?
before you do, are these signs even working? They've been stored for 5 years?
No, don't say that, don't say that.
No, I'm serious, before we send Herb on a goose chase to
Well-
get a permit, and then we erect obsolete signs that don't work, that would be,
That would be a question for Infomark. What my task is to pay the permit.
well,
Right,
what's your
yeah.
not to exceed limit? What's your not to exceed?
I'm not gonna get, because again, I gave you the qualifier of Travis County, I don't know. I would anticipate a couple hours worth of work.
That's
I
it?
don't know that that's gonna be wrong.
Would $1,000 cover your time?
I would say yes off the cuff.
Can we put a not to exceed, and if it's going over that, just come back?
I prefer in this instance to be able to just move forward and get this thing done on an hourly basis and just.
Yes, absolutely, I'm
Yeah.
suggesting that, but we
But I'm
need to
not-
put a limit on it, because if you spend as much time as he did trying to chase this down, it's gonna cost as much as the speed signs.
Well,
Yeah, okay, let's make it 1,500 then. Okay,
We're $2.32 an hour to say you spend 10 hours on it.
I mean, y'all want
If
to do
it's,
it?
look, if it takes more, you need to come back, and we
Yeah.
really need to reevaluate if we need these signs.
If I run into any issues, you will know about it.
Well, yeah, and it's, I mean, Bill's been trying since they bought the signs.
Megan?
How
Go ahead.
easy is it for Infomark to test them?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I bet you've never even seen them, have you?
They're
I have,
probably,
yeah. I actually went out there and like took them out specifically to see what mountings we were gonna need.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so can we test them
Mackenzie, let me
before?
ask you, are y'all, and I'm okay with it, are y'all gonna look to us for help on the installation?
Yes, I actually reached out to you a while back about that because the way that the sign is structured, the box where all of the cords and the electrical and I'm assuming how the solar powers it, is directly in the middle. And I think, Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, they have to be on a single pole.
Yeah, we got that from the county. and we
Yeah,
had
so
to
I don't
leave
know
in
how
US
we're
for-
supposed to do that if that box is not, it's, what's the
Thank you
opposite of
for
recessed,
responding
but
to that.
basically sticking out on the back side. I don't know if you're gonna be able to mount a pole to that.
So if you
see, all
wanna
that
not,
stuff needs to be rectified before you go chasing a permit.
that's one of the things, if you want a not to exceed number, that's one of the instances. I'm coming into this tonight to obtain the permit. If you want additional services on top of that, how do you wanna handle it? We can do a not to exceed of 3,000 right now to cover the installation as well, and not to exceed 3,000, and do it on an hourly basis, in all hopes and
Okay.
minus to beat that,
So just so I'm clear, the Travis County has some requirements in terms of how the pole is supposed to look, and
It's how, it
How do you
can't,
mount?
it can't go on two poles, which would be ideal, because the poles could go on either side of the box. It has to go on a single pole.
okay,
It
so we're
goes
talking
on,
about
it goes on
brackets.
the speed limit sign pool.
We're talking about the brackets.
Yes,
So the brackets are
Correct.
different than what the sign is set up for.
yes.
So it's
Okay.
gonna take some engineering to figure out how to put a box on a round pole.
It's not gonna take like,
I know, I mean, I can only explain it, I can take it down to about a 5th grade level. That's about as far as I can go.
so if you wanted a not to exceed on this proposal to include the installation help,
Right,
I would say a not to exceed of $3,000.
okay. Then I move that we accept, we approve Gray Engineering for not to exceed of $3,000 to deal with the permitting and the engineering of the installation of the solar speed signs.
I second that motion.
Okay, so do we have any discussion?
should we add to the motion subject to confirming that the signs still work?
That will be one of the first things we'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to see the signs. I want to, I know that
Within the
it
scope.
was about a year and a half ago when she asked me about the post.
It was April of last year.
Was it last year? See, I was telling you.
Exactly.
So that'll be part of your service?
But we'll have to see the sign anyway to be
Plug
able
it
to
in.
get the bracketing, so.
Hey,
we'll
I
check
hear
all
it's
that.
solar, take it out outside, let it get a little sun, and
Well,
see if it
we'll
copies.
just check everything at the same time.
Okay,
That's
and
not a
just so
problem.
we know,
We'll verify.
we've figured out where we wanted to put them. I hope we all remember.
No,
Somebody
where
wrote
is that?
I know that was determined somewhere. I don't know who did it.
Yeah, we have that from the prior committee.
Okay, yes,
Three
exactly.
locations.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call the vote. All those in favor say aye. Okay. Okay, so do you have another one that
Okay.
you need information on?
And I just wanted to step in quickly. The Vinco invoice was included in the batch. The problem is that it comes with Herb's cover letter on it, so it's the second page of that. It was page 173 of the entire packet. So it showed up exactly as his report here is, this page, and then the actual invoice itself, and then this backup, which is
What
what I
batch
thought
was
you were
it,
talking
what batch are you saying it's in?
wow. It was
Okay,
page
do you have
173,
anything
so
else?
batch 3
Okay.
maybe? There were so
They
many.
don't go that
Okay.
way.
Okay, keep
But-
going, Herb.
Okay.
But they are I page numbered all the separate batches. They're
I
all
do too, and I don't have it.
Okay,
So,
Okay,
Okay.
the next item, from the last legislative, we were informed, by Bill's office as well as for all of our other districts as well. The, Senate Bill 3 is requiring that every, provider of water, prepare what's called an emergency preparedness plan. With that also includes having to notify, which is involved getting data for the system, for the response, for the contacts, as well as information from the city of Cedar Park, because they're the actual, they provide the district the water. With that, there are some requirements that they verify, different pressures that they're minimum that they would require. What are their policies for being able to notify the district if there's issues? We've reached out already to just try to get some of that information, see what we were actually looking for in meeting these requirements. We weren't pushy, so I don't know if we're going to run into an issue or not. Some of the information I believe that they're considering it's confidential information.
yeah, they're not
Through
gonna
their
give it to
system.
us. Yeah, they're not gonna
So-
tell us.
But there's information that they are going to be required to provide us, is my understanding, in order for us to be able to complete the forms. I'm letting you know that because it may be that we need to involve the attorney to reach out and communicate with the city of Cedar Park in order to collect that data. Hopefully that won't be the case. I'm just kind of giving you a forewarning on that. Also, on November the 1st, there's also a critical load coordination form that's supposed to go to the PUC and any other utility entity that would comply with that. And that's really going to pull in your wastewater facilities as far as that goes. And these are all related to the recent freeze as well as some of the storms that have hit and caused major outages of all these systems. The only confusing part about that is the EPP, the emergency plan is due March of 2022, which is great because it's going to take a little bit of time to get all this stuff together for all the districts. And then, but the PUC notification and letter is required November the 1st of this year.
Okay,
Part of that submittal is an approved emergency preparedness plan. So I don't know what the legislature was thinking when they put all this together. We're going to try to address it as best and cleanly as we can. Essentially, my first blush is we're going to end up notifying the PUC of all the information that we do have, and then say more information to come later. That's all we can do at this
Okay.
point.
I make a motion to approve Gray Engineering proposal number 21058 to develop the emergency preparedness application described in the proposal with a not-to-exceed amount of $5,000 and any approved reimbursable expenses.
okay, I will go ahead and second that. So is part of our, and so so for discussion, Herb, so as part of our emergency response plan, is that gonna be where we're gonna talk about having, generators in case we lose electricity for long periods of time to run our lift stations, those kinds of things?
That is your AWIA risk assessment that's being put together.
Okay,
That's already been done.
okay.
So if you get if you're gonna try to meet the early deadline, then you would have the March deadline already done.
Well, we will not be able to accomplish that, I can tell you that.
Okay, well,
That's why I'm letting you know, we're gonna comply with everything under the PUC requirements that can be met by November the 1st, which, as you know, is coming rapidly.
Okay.
And then we'll move on from there.
Okay. Okay, so,
you need to call the vote.
oh, I'm sorry, I need to call a vote, you're right. All those in favor, say aye. Okay, okay.
Can we approve the 44,000?
Yes.
Yes, that was part of our check register. Okay, so I want to move real quickly, and we're gonna do a condensed report, from the manager.
Do we need Herb to remain?
No, I don't think we need to.
I'll
Oh,
just
you
need
want
you to
me,
sign those proposals.
right here?
Yes, and I'll make that modification on the 507 to
For the
include,
not to
to include
exceed.
the install and the not to exceed.
Okay, please.
I'll do that before I leave and get Bill his time.
Okay.
You're gonna just hand write it in there?
Yep.
Just write neat.
Okay, start talking, Mackenzie.
All right, everybody should have a copy of the manager's report. I'm gonna start on page 8. That's the executive summary. Water accountability, which we expected at 83% this month. We did take Samco's investigation in and pass that on to our C&D crew, and they're preparing to provide a proposal for the maintenance work that's gonna be needed. That was identified in that survey. The collection.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, number 8, right here, that was listed.
Wait, oh, you're on 1B? Are you on 1B?
Yes, sorry.
And what was the total amount of the Samco and Infomark?
It was on last month's,
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Was
I
it
couldn't tell
18,000?
you, I'd have to go back and pull it
No,
up.
it was 50, it was way more than that. Do you remember the cost of the repairs, the Samco job?
They didn't do any repairs, they just
I mean,
did
they're
investigation.
going to come and do the repairs. There's a cost for that. It's in some of this work. Was it
That-
58,000?
I think-
Been involved in the
Leak
repair.
detection.
No, they did the investigation, we're providing a proposal for the investigation they gave to us.
For
For the
repairing,
maintenance work.
okay,
Yes,
so my question is, how much is that?
that's what I just said, my C&D crew is working on
Oh.
preparing a proposal. It's quite a lot of work, so,
So is it gonna be over 50,000?
I couldn't tell you. I just know that it takes a little bit of time for them to put a proposal that extensive together.
Okay. Pieces there?
Thank you, ma'am.
Obviously, if it is, we'll follow the proper protocols if it needs to be bidded or whatever the case may be. Skipping on to parks and trails, the committee did meet, and we went over some more redlining of the park rules, but we didn't do much else than that.
What does that have to do with trails?
That's part of parks, the parks committee met.
Oh, no, it says parks dash trails. I
Yeah.
thought we were gonna learn something about trails.
Infrastructure committee met as well. And just an update on Casho Wood Pond. Herb, I know I sent you an email today. The tech was in it again today, and I think he may have buttoned it up completely.
Yeah, he was out there with a truck.
Yeah, he got in it today. They got the equipment for it yesterday to be back in it, and I want to say that they were supposed to finish it today. So as soon as I confirm that tomorrow, we'll get with Herb, and then he can get Travis County involved in possibly coming out to do a re-inspection.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Can I go back to the water accountability?
Yeah.
So the leak detection, Samco did the formula leak detection, right?
Yeah, they did an
Okay,
investigation.
so you kind of killed that stone. Now we're gonna look at
The
why.
repairs for what they determined.
What did they find?
The
They had like
report
10,
was,
10.
An itemized list.
Yeah, they
yeah,
used an
we went over
itemized
the
list last
itemized
month.
list.
Yeah, I understand that portion, but
We haven't
if
fixed it
our-
yet.
No,
if our water accountability is still below 90,
Mm-hmm.
then now I think our second step should be to.
we haven't made any repairs.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I
So,
was saying.
I would like to see the list of where they found the problems, please.
That was been in
That was
in the-
for last
in
month's
the,
packet?
report.
Yeah,
I
last
believe.
month, yeah, that
In the
was last
report.
month.
Either last month or the month before, because it was done for Christie. I have it right here though.
Okay, send it
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, so there was a leak detected, at a distribution valve, and there was about 7, on service line leaks, and I believe there's, I'm sorry, 10, there was more on the next page. 2 fire hydrant leaks and 1 inoperable meter, all included in that.
Let's hope that inoperable meter is the problem.
It possibly could be, and everything that they found is critical, so
Okay.
that's why we're gonna do a.
Because Catherine and I spoke about this, and
Yeah, we talked about it.
it's highly
in
doubtful
ISD.
that these leaks are gonna remedy this much
It could remedy a
water
good portion of it, but there still could be some sort of
Yeah.
residual left over to
I think
figure
so.
out.
And what was the name of, okay, Samco was the one who came out here and did the inspection.
That the leak
Okay,
detection.
they did the leak detection.
Correct.
And now Infomark is going to hire a third party to come do the
No, our
repairs?
C&D crew, we have an actual collections and distributions
Okay.
crew. They are hired and employed by Infomark.
Okay,
Um,
following along as best I can. So, in this, you're telling me this leak detection report was in last month's?
yes,
Yeah,
it should
yeah.
be, and if not, I'll send it out, no worries.
Samco's.
Yes.
Customer care committee, we had 7, they did not meet, but we did have 7 accounts that were disconnected for non-payment this month. 5 have, restored service since then. So.
Okay.
As far as our miscellaneous items, you do have a new tech in the district. His name is Tarek Randolph. He's been training alongside several techs these last week and this week. He's really, really good. He's excited to be here, and he'll be training over the next 1 to 2 weeks with some more techs within the district.
Okay.
And that is because your current tech moved on to, he got promoted into inspections, which is what he was wanting to do.
Great.
We did complete an open records request that we received from Bill's office. We are working on getting the mailboxes ordered.
Wait. This has my name on it.
Correct.
Which one did you work on?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Bill, what did they work
All
on?
of the work orders.
Do you know?
It was the one for the work orders.
Oh, the one I've been waiting 10 weeks now for, or 11 weeks for, work orders.
Okay.
So that's been completed.
Wait a minute, before you go on, Catherine, I want you and I want Art to pay real close attention. I asked for work orders to support invoices. I asked politely through Infomark. They refused to give them to me. The only way for me to see them now is through an open records request. I've waited 12 weeks to look at the district's business. That's on Open Records Committee. You
I
shouldn't
disagree.
allow them to do that.
Okay,
You
let's
should
keep going.
insist they return the records to a duly elected official.
We will have the mailboxes ordered tomorrow without the 15% markup. We were able to figure that out. And
Oh, okay.
so we will have them ordered tomorrow, and I think the total came in under what we thought it was supposed to be. We just
Why did
a-
it take so long?
Because you have to reach out to the company.
Which company did you use? Did you use the one I gave you that the post office said was certified vendor?
Nope.
Who did you use?
It's Nation Mailbox something.
National Mailbox.
National,
It's
there
the
you go.
one that we brought to the board
Yep.
during the August meeting. They were less expensive than the
Yeah.
one that the post office.
The total for all the mailboxes that we ended up meeting came out to $8,746. They did give us a $1,500 discount.
That's
Yay.
that's a lot less, so tell me this, when are they gonna be delivered?
There's a 6-week lead time.
Oh, no.
Oh, supply
No,
chain
that's
everywhere.
not gonna work.
Yeah,
That's-
That's better
That
than
was
waiting
pretty
for
much
the
Well, we
post
don't know
office
what
to
the
do
other
it.
vendor in Hutto would have delivered them, right? Because you didn't check. You went straight to one vendor and you bought from this vendor.
They never responded,
called.
Linda.
And I did a lot of research prior to the August meeting, and even the resident who I've been speaking with about this issue, and I spoke with her husband on the phone, and he's the one who's gonna be installing them, and he has lots of expertise, and he gave me the name of the person they use, and even they had a 5 to 6 week lead time. So this seems to be standard right now. Part of the reason originally that national mailboxes looked great is because they say on their website, ships in 2 to 3 days. So we were super pumped about that. But then COVID has just caused such problems in the supply chain
Yeah.
globally that this is the situation we're in. So I think that this is a universal
Yeah.
problem.
And the
Otherwise, I
ones
would.
that we ordered, not to interrupt you, Megan, are made to order. That's why they have a lead time.
And I just need to understand why it took so long from the identification of this problem, board approval to proceed, to order the mailboxes. What was the delay?
We had to converse with the company.
Yeah, that's a phone call.
It was not as easy as a phone call. Not everything is a click of a button.
And we then had to get them basically to send us an order form and explain to us that in order for you to, instead of where you would normally not have to purchase, you would receive your product and then you would get an invoice and pay it. They wanted payment up front, and then we also needed to determine how we were gonna pay this without the 15% markup getting added to it.
That took over a week?
That's just,
No, that's just bad business is what that
I-
is. This
I
is an
disagree.
emergency need. And the lady who requested the boxes is watching the video.
I'm
She's
glad- I'm
really
glad-
Glad
interested.
she
I'm
is,
glad she
because
is.
it's
I've
the
been in
post
contact
office,
with
and
her.
we took it up, and we're the only ones that have ever
Did
paid
you
for
do
this.
the
This is a
inventory?
whole thing that we're doing.
Did what?
Did you do the
Okay, keep
inventory of all
going,
the broken boxes?
Mackenzie.
You haven't done that yet?
No.
If it's that much of a lead
Mackenzie,
time.
I know you're
I'm
in a
gonna need that
deadline.
Yeah.
information.
On
They can
D,
order
I do
it.
wanna say, I was told that we were approved
gonna
and
have
ready
to
to go,
start-
but they've since kicked
I
back
need
and
the
said that they
location
want
of
to
all
come
of
and meet the contractor in the
You
building.
just have to go back.
So our insurance company is gonna meet
Yeah,
with
but-
Superior and just make sure that they're all aligned on the repairs needed, and then we should be good to go.
You're talking about G, is that what you said?
D, I think it's the last
60.
one under miscellaneous.
That's the building here?
Correct, yep.
So I noticed in the budget, there's a $9,000 building expense. What's that for?
That's actually a line item that was added a few years back for specifically things related to this building as opposed to the park around it.
Right. And so what are we planning for this building? If insurance is covering everything?
They're covering what was damaged in the freeze. That
If there's
supports, for
other
instance,
damage or
well,
maintenance that occurs, that's what the
Exactly.
line's.
So we can put the building back together, ceilings and all, with insurance money, am I right?
that's what I'm hoping for. That's what
We
I
don't
just
know that yet?
know the insurance company called me, told me we were good to go, then called me 2 days later and said, well, hold on, we wanna meet with the contractor.
So we are not good to go yet.
They're going to meet here to discuss, because they're not in agreement with what our adjuster says needs to be done versus what the contractor says needs to be done.
Yeah.
So,
Right
So
now,
there's
Russ-
there's a chance we're not gonna be able to fix the building with insurance money, completely
That's
with
not-
insurance money?
no,
No,
that's not true.
I'm thinking that our contractor is gonna tell the insurance company, you need to give me more money.
Correct, and the thing is
Yeah.
that they're wanting to see it in person
Oh, okay.
versus email back and
Yeah.
forth, and then, your insurance company took their own pictures, but the contractor took their own pictures, and things are not aligning between the two.
Yeah.
And usually the insurance will cover what the contractor says.
They usually will.
Exactly,
But-
that's why I'm saying.
Well,
I
that's
think-
my hope,
The
but if
problem is
not, I
there's
wanna
like
know
a
what the
$20,000
difference is.
difference between the two, and
Yeah, that's
that's
substantial.
why they want to meet.
Okay, okay.
Did you want me to roll through everything?
Wait, before you do, because you went straight to page 8, and I need you to correct page 4 in the future and show 2020 and 2021.
And just so you know,
rates.
2020, I noticed when I was looking at the packet this month that wasn't there, so I got her that information, and the 2021 information, we couldn't do anything until it was approved.
Okay, well,
So-
but you see where the
Yeah,
boxes are
they need to
missing.
go in there, yep, for sure. Did you want me to go through line by line all of this, Catherine?
No, we
I
don't.
had one thing to add though, under total gallons consumed, your total there for this month, 2021 is incorrect, there was a typo, it should read 173,843,800.
Okay.
Where are you,
Page 9,
total gallons consumed?
yes, for August of 2021,
Should read what?
173,843,800.
Oh, you would have made Catherine really happy, because look at the decrease in water usage, from 220,000 gallons to 17,000
Well,
gallons.
remember, you gotta add some zeros to that,
No.
there's millions.
Well, I know, but okay, look at the difference in that number, that is
Yeah.
talk real conservative.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just because they missed adding one of the meters in. The only other thing I
It
wanted
gets
to
you where you're
notate,
going.
Yeah.
disconnects for non-payment 7 and 88 tags hung and 144 letters mailed.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, are we ready to move
No,
on?
wait, I have one question on page 14. Your key is so tiny, I cannot read what the green bar represents. Do you see on page 14?
Yeah, that whole graph should be bigger.
Yeah, if you blow that up next time, but in the meantime, tell me what the green bar below the line represents.
I think I know what it is, but let me pull up the report.
Is that water loss?
I think it is, but let me double check before I say.
The reason that I'm asking is because I looked at the water reports and, from another neighboring district, and they never go below 98. They are doing a phenomenal job, and their infrastructure is as old as ours. So I think that's a model that we should try to emulate,
That
because
is, yes, sorry to
that
cut
is
in.
water
Lost
loss.
gain.
That's what I
Lost
thought.
gain.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's, out of 12 months, 10 of those months, there has been a water loss, a substantial water loss in this district. That's where your
That's why we
water's
had,
going.
yeah, that's why we had Sandco, and hopefully that's gonna solve that
Well, we
problem.
already know that that's not gonna solve the
It's
major
not gonna
problems.
solve all of it.
Yeah.
I think there's something with the meters again, the district
But,
meters.
but these numbers on your, page 15, the water accountability report, when I saw a district our same age that has literally superstar numbers, it leads me to wonder why we've run this long with numbers this bad.
Well, that's why we,
They got Samco.
that's why we
involved.
got Samco,
Took
yeah.
10 months.
Yeah.
Well, I
No.
can also tell you, there's been times where I've actually gone out in the district myself and looked at all of your large meters to make sure we had the correct modifiers and multipliers and everything in between, and there's only so much Infomark can do with that.
You know, that's a good point. I didn't ask them what kind of meters they use, but I'm going to because they have gone electronic meters as well, not fully yet.
Yeah, yeah,
But maybe it is meters,
okay.
maybe,
It potentially could be,
maybe.
but I think you're gonna need to combine a lot of different problems to get to it.
I agree, I think there's an awful lot of
This,
spinning plates that's
District
causing,
that you looked at, who are they tied into?
Round Rock.
Round Rock?
okay. Okay, is that it? Cause I'd like to excuse you
Thank you.
and, go to to agenda item 10. So what do we need to do, Bill?
Okay, so what we provided was a red line in anticipation of the board at least changing
Wait,
the,
I'm so sorry. So before you go, I'm sorry, I apologize. But before Mackenzie leaves, you're gonna let her go from the meeting?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna sign in, so I'll be like vocal.
Well, before you leave, I just have a bit for you. I asked you last month to deliver the spreadsheet created by the person Infomark hired to
Correct.
audit the invoices. You did not deliver that.
We're working on getting all of your work orders gathered to deliver it all.
Her spreadsheet would have been done. That would have been just send me that spreadsheet. You were also supposed to provide us with the complete maintenance history of the hatch lift station for the last 2 years, I believe I asked for. You haven't done that yet either. And finally, I'm still waiting on the total amount Infomark charged this district in the past year in their overhead fee of 15%, which the bookkeeper says he can't pull for me, which is added to almost every single work order. That's a huge amount of money for this district, and I want to know by year what that number is. The amounts individually are staggering. The bookkeeper claims the
Yeah.
financial system does not capture that information, so he can't pull it. He asked Christie for it, I've asked you for it. When do you deliver on your work assignments is my question. And my final question is, do you guys do a time accounting of keeping track of how many hours you work for each of your MUDs? Do you keep that? Do you keep records like that? Time accounting? You do not? Well, our contract says we have a 40% of the
Right.
time, general or a
For
general manager or
For
accountant.
Mackenzie,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, if we don't see how your time is being spent, how do we know we get 40 hours out of you, or 40%?
Well, because
Because you trust your contractor?
No, because every, a couple times a year, the management committee meets and we review and we go over those kinds of hourly reports.
Well, I'm having a really hard time getting information from Infomark, and I know they attend a lot of your committee meetings, but my stuff, what I'm asking for, are simple 5-minute reports
No,
at
they
best.
aren't.
No.
No, they aren't.
Well, then there's
I can
something
tell you
wrong.
alone that your work order, open records request took me alone 10 hours.
You know, that's really amazing, because you claim the woman who did the spreadsheet was given all the
She was
documentation.
given access to a system.
Oh, well, you could have done that.
That, absolutely not.
Then you should put that stuff on a shared drive, because you know who owns that data?
Yeah.
The district does,
I'm
not
not saying we're
Infomark.
not giving it to you, Linda. It's not a simple 5-minute report.
You need to make your
Can we
life
move on,
easier.
please?
Yes, I
Instead of
agree.
arguing,
Yeah, I agree.
please.
Okay,
Not
so-
acceptable, Mackenzie, not acceptable.
Bill, can we talk about the rate order?
okay, this is item 10, the rate order. There is a red line draft that we presented. The only substantive change is on page 9.
Okay,
And that was done in anticipation that, you would want to increase your gallonage charge for wastewater rates, because the city of Cedar Park has raised their new volumetric rate for wastewater charge to the district from $3.62 to $3.70,
Okay.
76. So on page 9 is that red line change. That red line change comports with what you did in the budget.
I don't have a red line either.
No, you have a rate order, maybe.
I have a rate order.
Yeah, the rate order,
Page 9.
Where exactly on the paragraph?
It's page 9.
There we go.
District wastewater
All right,
charge,
let me go back to it and find it.
right here. It didn't go in color. but
Oh, I
the change is-
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's not colored. I apologize. I see it. It's
Yeah.
lighter than.
Sometimes our copier ignores small pieces of color.
Okay, I see
But
what you're
it's
talking
362, changed to 376, and that one change comports to what you did on the budget. So if that's what the board wants to do with rate order, we just need a motion to approve the rate order as presented. And that
Okay.
change will be effective
Okay.
now, the next billing cycle. What we can do is next month revisit this for the water rates,
Yes.
the water tiers and everything.
Yes. Okay, does somebody want to make a motion to accept the rate order as presented?
I make a motion that we accept the rate order as presented by Bill Flickinger for the immediate time being.
Okay, and I will second that motion. Do we have any discussion? Yes, I think you've got the right thing. So I guess my question is do we have to include all the rate order history, for the beginning? It looks like it goes back many, many, many years.
We don't do that for all the rates. You'll see I've done that for the fire protection fee.
Okay,
And the main reason I've done that is,
It's
and you
after-
can read that paragraph, is over a course of time, the district has obviously had increases from the city of Cedar Park, which we passed along to our customers. There were other years where we either subsidized half of the cost by not charging the customers, and there was at least one year where we didn't charge, I don't think we charged any. So the history's there for the benefit of the board.
okay,
We could take all that out, but I've kept it in there to show some years we
okay,
charged
I
part
like,
of
I
it.
like it.
I like it in there.
okay. Okay, so,
Not that I've read it yet. but
Okay.
I
There's
will
no
read it.
such history
No, but
like
it
on
makes
water
sense.
rates or anything.
okay,
We kept
so,
all that.
so that big history is just nothing,
Fire
it's only
protection.
fire protection, it's not for the
Correct,
water. Okay.
correct.
Okay, do we have any more discussion? All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Okay, unless somebody has a, huge objection, I'm gonna skip agenda item 11 and we will put that on another,
I thought we agreed not to do this last meeting because it just wasn't worth doing.
well, we just kept it on the agenda.
But I thought we had already discussed it. Remember, it was how you can report people for not paying their water
Right,
bill?
yeah.
And then we weren't even sure that utility companies could
Right.
be reported. It was a lot of work and a lot of extra paperwork, and there's really
Right.
no benefit to the district.
Just to clarify,
It wasn't work
we're going from Zoom to in person. In person, once we don't have to wear these masks, it's gonna be very good. So we can, explain things better. Catherine misunderstood. She thought we were selling the accounts receivable and
Right.
getting money up front.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so after that, she wanted to reconsider or think about it. And Linda, you wanted some information on how much do we have in
Right, didn't
collections
get
in
that
the
either.
first place. So I put it back on. If the board wants to bring it back again, that's fine. If you want to delay, not put it on next
I
time,
don't
that's
think it's
fine.
worth.
I don't think
Okay.
it's worth it. That's Lee, right? I don't recognize you with long hair. I had asked, I really don't recognize her. We asked, that's
Why
Lee.
you recognize?
See, you
I
too.
was gonna ask you, so
I
you
had to
girl.
ask her earlier.
Funny.
She always has real short hair.
Wow.
I had asked for a report that shows the accounts over the past few years that have been written off because the debtor failed to pay. I asked for that last month so that we would know if we
Right.
have a big enough problem to warrant this additional work for the district
Well,
and the additional cost.
What I would like to, what I think maybe what we should do is come up with a policy that says, when we have a delinquent accounts that are abandoned that are over X, then our
Send them to
pol-
him.
Yes, that's what I think we're gonna end up doing. Is there any statute of limitations as to how far back we can go back?
There are no statute of limitations that run against the MUD. So you can collect older amounts just like the city. If you have a bill that hasn't been paid for 50 years, the city still could collect it.
Really?
So we just need to figure out what he's gonna charge to prosecute that or to try to go
Right.
after that money. And if it's a low balance, 100 or 2,
No,
he's
no, no,
gonna
no,
charge
no,
more?
I'm thinking
Do
that.
we have
Why
any?
even go, I mean, we know it's gonna be a low balance. It's not gonna be
No,
worth.
see, I know last year, we had a $3,000 bill that was a bad bill. And
If
that's
you
what-
write off big ones.
Yeah, and that's really what I'm trying to identify.
Do you know either Lee, or I don't think you would know, Michael, but Lee, do you know if we have a lot of accounts that have huge balances that just walk away?
There aren't a whole lot, but it does from time to
It does.
time,
Can,
yeah,
can
we
you
do it.
pull a 5-year look and send us what 5 years looks like, or is that too far back?
I can try, I'm not sure.
3 would
but-
be really enough of a history
Yeah,
to know if it's
yeah.
even worth messing with.
Yeah, I'm not, I'll have to see how to pull that report.
Okay.
And I just
Okay.
wanted to comment that, despite the fact that that's not my part of the job, having sat, in this desk on a lot of districts for a dozen, 13, some years now.
Forever.
That's, that one of the pieces of this is that most of them are small amounts.
Right.
And boards typically, consider it's not worth the cost to try to chase those, and they write them off. But there are a few big ones that come through, and then finding a way that's cost effective to get that money, that's the struggle. Because you're gonna have to basically pay someone, often a lawyer, to chase that, and they're gonna take a large finder's fee effectively on it, so.
Bill,
but
what
it's
does it
your
cost?
money.
What does it cost for you to chase something like that down? Is that
Well, first of all, we don't charge contingent fees, so there's,
no? I understand what you're saying, but I mean, like if you were going to chase down an account,
yeah.
is that an
Occasionally
injunction?
we have done this, okay, so it's really a step-by-step process. I would not send anything to me that's under $1,000.
Yes, I would agree.
Because it's gonna take, approximately $300 or so to get a demand letter to them.
I think we're tripping on the 20 nickel. I don't see the value.
Right.
Well,
But,
I just
yeah,
wanna have a.
We need to know what we're
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
let me answer, and then you guys can have it for the future. I'll take this off the agenda for now, you can bring it back some other time. If you had an account that was over $1,000, and certainly if it was over $3,000, and, after applying the deposit, then it would probably be worthwhile to send it to me to send a demand letter, to try to get their attention,
Agreed.
to essentially threaten to sue. So, kind of like we do with deed restriction, you authorize a letter,
Correct.
not a full-blown lawsuit. And if that fails, then we could come back and decide if we want to file a lawsuit. And then, of course, every lawsuit has its own course.
Life.
The people that leave, that haven't paid their bill, may be difficult to locate, so we might have to do a skip trace to find them, which is generally about $100. We have a firm that does that. But if we can find them and send them a letter, you have a chance that they're gonna pay.
Right.
If they don't, we can always bring it back, so.
Okay.
I like that approach a lot.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, is that we've got a floor that we won't even worry about it.
Right.
Okay.
So Lee, you got that down, right? You're gonna find us, whatever we're out, however many accounts we've had to write off. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, agenda item, 12, order and agreed resolution in the matter of Louis Zervigon. Okay, so Bill, you're up.
In your packet, and it is on the website as agenda packet, is a letter from Bob Heath of the Bakerson staff firm, written to his client Louis Zervigon, that explains how the ethics complaint was resolved. I was not involved in that process, so I don't have anything to add to the explanation. The actual order is attached, as well as the board's prior resolution authorizing payment of expenses. As I understand it, this is being provided as information to the board and
Right.
the public as to how that case was resolved, and the case has ended.
Okay.
Has been resolved.
Okay.
So I'd like to make a motion, please. I move that the board authorize Bill Flickinger to send a demand letter for repayment of all legal expenses paid for the defense of Louis Zervigon for interfering in the 2020 election, including the expense of the letter that Bob Heath just sent on September 2nd that is attached to this agenda item. His case is resolved. He reaches out to the attorney that's going to bill us to send a letter explaining the outcome of his case. That's brazen. I'd like, my constituents that voted for me want this money back. They don't want to pay for the defense of somebody who interfered in the election. Louis
Okay,
Zervigon
let's-
was a chair of the Democratic
it's-
committee for Williamson County. He
Let's get
knows
your-
the
let's-
rules.
Let's get your motion.
Let's do the motion. I would like a second on the motion to get this money repaid to the district.
Okay, I'm not hearing a second. We're gonna move on.
No
Uh,
second.
13, report from the district attorneys regarding status of current legal projects. I asked you to put this on, because because I have a recollection of having I have a recollection of having a discussion a number of months ago where we wanted to simplify the engineering contract, because it was like 30 years old or something like that. And so I just want to make sure that, the reason I put this agenda item on the list was to make sure that that just hasn't been lost.
Correct.
Okay.
So, and Catherine did ask me to add this item, and so I think probably on every regular board meeting, we'll have this item, which gives us an opportunity to talk about what's pending. And not tonight, but details on the issue or whatever we're working on would be more appropriate in executive session most of the time if I'm working on a project to update you on what I'm actually doing on it. So I'm not planning or suggesting executive session tonight. This
Okay.
is kind of the first step. But I have prepared a list of the pending projects, which I believe is complete. I worked without, we went over it. We do have a lot of projects. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of work.
Right.
And that's also why your legal expenses have been high. We have, 3 meetings a month. We've had a lot of activity. And we are planning to catch up, but we are behind. So this list is not designed to be a public document. I didn't refine it, but I'm going to pass it out to the board.
Okay.
And I think tonight it's more just information to you. And then the next regular meeting, we'll have an update.
And it's
maybe
confidential, right?
This
It's
list.
confidential.
Deem this confidential for now, because I've not had time to.
Okay.
I'll write it on here for you.
Okay.
But if there's a project that you're involved in, or you think that I'm working on, or your committee's working on that's not on this list, call me,
Okay.
because I may have, something may have dropped off. But you'll see, Catherine, your comment on the engineering contract
Okay.
is on the list. It's very far at the bottom, because we were pretty much told by her that they weren't really interested in amending it right now.
Really?
So that's why
Okay.
it's close to the bottom.
Do you
Okay.
handle the renegotiated contracts? Do you do that, renegotiate contracts?
Yes.
Because I'd like to add to the list to renegotiate Sage Management's contract and Infomark's contract, because Sage Management doesn't perform 50% of what's on their list. They don't do minutes, they don't have a share drive. There's so many things on their contract they don't do. I
So,
did pull another contract from another district that they work for. We are way overpaying for the services they give.
Linda, can I address that?
Yeah.
Since this is my list of
right.
projects,
Add that.
I would require a board, either a board directive or a committee request under their authority to pay for it, or board approval before I started that process. I've not received authority from anyone I'm aware of to renegotiate that contract,
Mhm.
but if authorized, yes, I would be the person.
Here's
who would
my
be involved.
concern, Bill. If we're gonna wait for the 4 members of this board that Catherine acknowledges are on this board, it's never gonna happen, because they have these friendship relationships that drive how they do business for the district, and they don't take into consideration what the contractor is actually doing versus what we're paying them for doing. So I will mark it up, I will send it to every member of this board so they can have an opportunity to deny saving the district money for services that are not being performed.
So, Bill, the order of your list, is there any order?
I wasn't precise, but I tried to put the more urgent things at the top.
Okay, that's how I was trying to
So,
ask.
for example, like, the first 3 bullet points are really, really important that we're working on. 2 of them come from the DRC meeting Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt at our office is actively working on park rules with the Parks Committee. I don't know when they'll be ready to present, but
Okay.
that's in.
Okay.
And right behind that are the communication policy violations, which I think we have 7 complaints right now. that
More
need to
coming.
be processed.
Okay.
Lots more coming.
And
Okay.
that's fine. You
So we
follow.
can add to this list if we want to.
If there's, yeah, but.
Megan, I want to add the retention policies, go over it with them.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we have.
Records
item-
retention?
We do have, where is it, Allison?
Is that a board directive? Is that a board directive?
We have updates.
He says he only can add to the list with the board
Yeah, this
directive.
is an old decision to work with the Records Modernization Committee.
Mhm.
And so that was updated or approved a long time ago to work with them. And that's
Yeah,
third
that's
from
part
the
of it.
bottom, it's on there, it's on there.
Yeah.
Did you get my email about, for your records modernization? Okay.
Okay, so anyway, this is not, it's not cast in stone, it's designed to kind of
Okay.
update you.
Okay.
And if something's missing, let me know. Next month, we can have a discussion, more
Okay.
detail about, why is something not done, or what has to be done to get it done.
Got it.
Or how
Okay.
we get things done now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now that I'm not recognized by the board president? I'm sure you
Okay.
can explain that
How
to me,
we
Bill.
get things done. How
Bill,
we
did
get
you
things done.
encourage her to do that? Did you
Okay.
guide her in that?
So are
To
we
do
gonna,
that?
can we move on to
Did you?
agenda item number 14, please? So, agenda item 14 is minutes from the prior and regular special meetings. I think that we carried over minutes from the DRC meeting on Monday. And so the purpose of that was to give everybody an opportunity to read the minutes. Do
Now,
we-
I reviewed the March 15th. I'll motion for that.
Okay. I'll go ahead and, wait a minute, let's make sure we're understanding. This is a DRC from March 15th.
Correct. There's only 3 minutes in your packet. March
Okay.
15 DRC, April 19 DRC, and May 17 DRC.
Okay, so I'll second the March 15th DRC. Do we have any other discussion regarding that those minutes? Okay, I'll go ahead and call the vote. All in favor? Say aye. Okay, opposed?
Abstain, I have not read the minutes.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion on the other minutes? Beth, you and I have gone over those minutes. Do you want to make a motion? What are the dates?
April 19
See, I
is
thought
the
it was
next
April,
one.
and then, I
May
don't have it,
17.
do you have it in
I
front
can't
of you?
remember that far back. You have to watch
Yeah.
the video.
Do you have it,
April 19.
what was it, and didn't we do 2 months though? So,
We had, yeah, well, we did 3. So April 19th, what was the next one? May something?
May 17.
May 17th.
okay, so I make a motion to approve the April 19th and the May 17th minutes
Yes,
from, which meeting was that?
for the DRC.
From the DRC meeting.
Yeah, okay, I'll go ahead and second that. Do we have any discussion?
The only thing I noticed, and maybe it's nitpicky, but it was on page 4.
Which one?
Sorry, April 19th, and it's not, there aren't page numbers on this. It was page 4, so, okay, so there's no page numbers. Anyway, agenda item 6. That we had bullet points that said discussion over section 5, discussion over section 7, etc. I don't know if there's any value in just adding like a one line, like what is section 5? I have no idea what section 5 is.
Who took those minutes?
Those were taken by Sage, the last couple
Well,
of.
that's why they're not, that's what I mean. That's why
So-
we need to renegotiate their contract.
Okay, I'm not looking to make comments. I'm
Okay.
just looking to see if we can maybe just approve them subject to adding like a one line, what is section 5?
I mean, from, section, here, let me look at that.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like, because it's about it's the residence rights document, but.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we were talking about a specific document of the residence rights, and that's when we were referring to the different sections. Is that what we're talking about?
Right, so we
Okay.
had discussion about different sections,
Okay,
and, yeah,
okay,
it's just what is, discussion of section 5 doesn't really mean anything to
Okay.
We can go
anybody
back and
reading it.
put something.
so, why don't we go ahead and, pull those, because and not approve it, how about that? So what month was this?
April.
It was April 19th.
Okay.
I'm just sensitive to, we have like no DRC minutes approved. So I don't really want to hold up approving minutes and putting them on the website for people. Just to, like, it seems like a pretty simple task. Can we approve them with the agreement that's like got changed?
Yeah, okay, how do we handle that, Bill?
Yeah, we're talking about April 19, page 4.
Right.
Correct.
So agenda item 6 is what it was. And we just want to add, and so subject to the addition of a description of what the sections are.
Okay,
Right, yeah.
Is that what it is? Is that
yeah,
what?
well, we were discussing the residents' rights document,
Right.
and we were talking about amendments. So yes, we could insert what the language is in those sections that are referenced.
Well, isn't it a definition of what the section is? Isn't that what we're talking about?
Well, we're talking about sections of a document, so if the
Oh.
clarification is, we'd like to know for example, what did section 3 say that we're discussing?
Okay.
We could insert what it says.
Okay.
And we could do that for all the section references on page 4.
Okay.
If you want to, whoever made the motion, if you want to amend your motion to do that, we could approve with those changes and get it signed with changes.
Okay. You can do that? Okay.
I'll make a motion for April 19th and
Page
and
4.
then May 17th, is that right?
Right. With the to have the changes that we have discussed to the, was it the April meeting?
Page 4, section number. Yes, for 3, 5, 7, and 9 for the discussion over sections 3, 5, 7, and 9, that we will add more detail.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'll go ahead and second that. And do we have any more discussion? Okay, all in favor? Okay,
I abstain, I haven't
Okay.
read the minutes,
okay,
and that kind of an explanation of what's missing,
okay.
you gotta watch the meeting.
Future board meetings. So the next scheduled board meeting is the DRC for October.
I think it's around October 18th. I don't have a calendar in front of me.
October 18th. So it's
So
going to
no
be
meeting next week, right?
no meeting next week. No. So we're going to have at this point the only thing that is going to be on the DRC agenda that's not DRC related is we're going to put the RFQ for general counsel one last time.
Can we have it before the meeting?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
substantially before the meeting?
Yeah, I'm not gonna, yeah, that is perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. So,
You're replacing the contractor that has no fault found yet in his billing or his practices. He's not so timely with me, but I cannot fault his business. And we
Okay.
have contractors who are failing miserably,
Okay, so-
and you're not trying to replace them.
Okay,
What is
so-
wrong with this picture, Catherine?
do we have any more things that we wanna add, that we feel that we need to add to the DRC meeting?
I do not.
Okay, I don't,
think
at this
that far
point,
ahead.
I'm sure something might pop up, and then see if we have anything that's gonna pop
Send it
up
to Allison if you do.
for the October 20th meeting. So at this point, I don't think we have anything else. I need a motion to adjourn. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, I will second
I
that.
have
All in favor?
discussion, I have discussion. I want the
Aye.
public who is watching to understand that Catherine has excluded me from this board.
So,
If
all
you
in
would like
favor?
any of
And aye.
the information that I have,
So,
just ask for it
what
and you shall have it.
What I would like now is for the public to please exit at this point, at this time. Yes.
Are we having an executive session?
No,
It's over.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the public leave, and then we will put our stuff away.
We also have some documents to sign, so
Oh, yes,
please don't leave until Allison gets signed.
yes, so I really need to. Who's got the check?
Catherine?
Can you help sign these?